Welcome everybody to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. Yes, sir. Welcome back. We got a great episode in store for y'all today.
You
gotta do the Carl Anthony Towns.
I got almost smiled too much, bro. Like,
No, it's so funny. Me and Hus were talking about that. We were dying for like an hour at the gym, bro.
I can't.
You know damn well nobody saluted you, cat.
Oh man, I'm gonna start doing it now.
Salute dude in the 300 section. Like,
Yeah,
I
the
swear you
real
so.
fans.
It's for you.
Oh man,
All right.
big purr.
We can just hop straight into that because
Oh,
game
man.
2 today of the Timberwolves Maverick series. Luka hit a game winner on Rudy Gobert. I will
Shitted
never
on him.
understand why they didn't send help for that. I mean, that's just asking to be cooked.
Oh,
Team
God.
problem, not a Rudy problem.
Ant had a bad game. Turnover at the end was probably the low light of the game, I'd say. We just hop into it. We were talking about it a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that although he's been playing bad this series, I can see the mistakes that he's making. I think are fixable. They're not like they're just destroying him defensively and like he's locked up. I think he's making these mistakes himself. Like it's on him because like Omari said, first time in the conference finals, you're just not used to the situation and you haven't been to this point in your career ever, so like you just don't know what it is, like how the games are. Other teams are also more locked into defending you, so it's just been difficult for him.
I mean, I still believe in him. I still think the Timberwolves are gonna lose. Or sorry, win. I still think Timberwolves are gonna win, but I don't
You
like
said
the
the right thing to
But
Nah.
so you think he'll bounce back?
Yeah, 100%. I know he's gonna at least show up for. I know he's gonna show up for 4 games coming after this loss, but I don't like the excuse of saying like, oh, it's his first time there. If you're really great, all great players show up first time there. Like KD, first time there he shows up. Luka, first time there he shows up. Curry, first time there he shows up. Braun, first time there he shows up. We've been talking to Anthony like Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan, so he's gonna show up. You have to hold him accountable. I saw on Twitter the other day we talk about how Jason Tatum doesn't show up and we get on him, but when
Yeah, but it's
Anthony
been
Edwards
100
doesn't show up, we
years,
don't
like-
show him the same love or like the
It's a
same
little
hate.
different, I think.
Why?
Have you seen all the hate on that right now on social
I want to
media?
hear why. I mean, right now for sure because of what just happened.
Well, Tatum,
But-
like he's been there before many times, and like his real issue is getting over that hump, and like getting to the finals and finally winning a ring. So we kind of know the conference finals thing is kind of drawn out for him with Anthony Edwards. Like this is a first time thing for him, and he's a lot younger. And like I said, like I agree with you a little bit. Like it's not an excuse for him to play bad, but at the same time, the mistakes he's making, I'm not like, oh, this says a lot about him. Like I'm still understandful of that he's making honest mistakes that he can improve, and I think he can still improve in the series, not even the following years, just like really game 3 and 4.
I don't know how to feel about him yet because I need to see how he responds. Then I'll have like a full on understanding. Like if he doesn't respond, then I know what
that's
type
fair.
of player he is. And that you're young like argument, I could see it, but also hold him accountable because we hold him at a higher standard. To like you even said that you think he's better than Jason Tatum, and he's an All NBA player, so he's a top 15 player in the NBA. If we're gonna keep him to that standard,
Top
with
10 actually made second
now,
team.
yeah. So we're gonna have to, if you keep him to that standard, we're gonna have to, like talk about him or talk about his mistakes at that standard as well. If we're comparing him to LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Kevin Durant. If those guys did what he did today and the day before that, we'd be on him heavy too.
No, that's fair. Like he shouldn't be above criticism. I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize him, but I feel like especially on social media, like dudes will like start playing bad and they'll just get roasted. Like, oh, he's not him. He's a fraud. Like I'm not going that far.
No, he's definitely not a fraud.
I wanted to mention a lot of these things. Like he's also, I don't want to give him leeway or what excuse, but also a very young player. He's like 22 years old, bro.
I mean, I don't
He's
care
young.
if you're him, you're him. I don't care
I get what
age,
you're
bro.
saying, but he's still young, fairly like into the superstardom realm.
I think what Hassan said is fair. Like wait to see how he responds game 3, 4, and 5. Then you can judge him because off the 2 games, it's too early to like say you know what I mean.
I mean,
because the
yeah,
first round
that's
of the
true.
playoffs, he was averaging damn near 40 against the Suns, and everyone was like in it. But now that it's like, all right, he's struggling a little bit. Granted, like
It's gotta be a balance.
it's gonna
Nah,
be a
but
balance.
honestly,
because
like-
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'll say honestly, like it is just these 2 games. Well, I mean, he hasn't been that good these last 2 games, but I think since, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually like the last 5 games he's only averaging like 20.
Middle
And
of
he
the
was
Nuggets,
averaging,
middle of the Nuggets
yeah,
series.
and he was averaging like 32 ahead of that. You
His
know what I
team is
mean?
good.
So it's been a little minute that he's been in a little slump. I want to like touch on what I mentioned before we started recording. Like, I've heard like a lot of in a lot of players' interviews, like when they're retired and stuff, that like the mental load of long playoff runs is just as bad as like the physical toll that it takes. Like, so when people say Anthony Edwards goes out there and looks tired, it's not like I think that he's I don't think that he's like his legs or anything or like physically tired, but like you can tell that he's making. You start to like think a little more. You know, you start to overthink a little more. Like he's making a little bit worse decisions than he was at the beginning because it's easy to keep that confidence. You know, you're excited. You're going hard night in, night out.
Yeah.
But after you get to the third round of, you know what I mean, you're playing these long series. Like,
Yeah.
you get burnt out. You know what I mean?
You know
Mentally, because you have to be so much more locked in during the playoffs every single game than you do during the regular season. Even if you're playing every other day, having back-to-backs and stuff, you don't have to be as locked in.
You know,
and I feel like that takes a toll on young players, especially, and that's why I think we see him not shooting as good, and also like he's passing up some shots to pass, and it's like he's just overthinking. It seems like on the floor.
I think it's a mix of what you said, being mentally tired and just being there for the first time. Like probably a little bit of both.
I don't want to
You know
hear
what I
that, man.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm
But
saying
it's
like
true.
the vets and the all-time greats. That's what makes them vets. I mean, that's what makes them like great is because they can stay locked in, and that's why you need people like Mike Conley.
Yeah,
You know
even
what I
Mike
mean?
Conley,
Oh,
he
my
had some
goodness.
big time shots today,
Like,
and he made good decisions.
he's a vet.
because
He
he's
stays
been
locked
there,
in.
and he
He's
knows,
been there.
You know?
Okay, but I feel like you guys don't believe this because you wouldn't give this excuse to LeBron James. Dude, LeBron James has met. Wait up, hold up. Let me finish. LeBron James has had more pressure in his life at 18 years old than what's his name is facing now.
facts,
You're
that's
literally
facts.
building excuses for this man. Oh, mental toughness.
No, but
nigga, all the greats go through
Hold on,
mental
hold on,
toughness.
hold on.
Coming into the league. I don't want to hear about
Relax.
this.
Hey,
He's 22.
Come on, man. I don't care. Oh, he's 22.
Yeah, he's
LeBron's
only
defensive
22.
versus
Time out,
18.
time out. Why are you mad? Why
LeBron
you
is
mad?
an all-time
but-
generational,
this is
literally
passion,
best player in the
this is
world.
passion. I'm not
This is
mad.
where it's wrong. This is
Passion.
where it's wrong. Okay, when you're saying LeBron, you want to bring up LeBron. LeBron was the most hyped prospect of all time ever, right?
Okay.
Until Wembanyama, right?
Okay. Him too.
Not Edwards in that regard.
Okay,
Not
but
Edwards.
Fuck them two. Like,
Come on, man. You were talking about Edwards as if he's a superstar,
Hold on,
right?
hold on,
Put him
hold
into
on,
that
hold
regard
on,
as
relax.
superstar status.
Let me say something. It doesn't even matter about them two. I'm saying any young up and coming star that struggles like this, I would have the same sentiment about them. It's not even because he's on that elite level. Like if John Morant, if this was his first playoff run and he was playing the same, I'm pretty sure he struggled in his first playoff.
You want to
run
use
too.
mental? When is the last time you used mental toughness as an excuse for a player?
I'm not saying mental
It's not
toughness.
mental toughness,
It's
like-
fatigue.
Mental
Yeah, it's
fatigue?
fatigue, yeah.
You've used that before to say someone's playing bad.
I mean, he said it differently. What
It's
I
young
look at
people,
it
it's young
as
players.
is when the more like a longer playoff run, more teams have more time to prepare for you in different ways to attack you, and that's just like mentally. I don't want to say draining, but it's gonna rack your brain a lot to try to figure out how to attack different defenses. And I feel like him being in his first playoff run, like he's still figuring out like, okay, how I'm gonna attack this defense. The way I attack Denver is not the same way that I'm gonna attack the Dallas Mavericks defense. And I feel like him going through all that in his first playoff run, he just doesn't know like how taxing it could be, like to game plan for team after team after team in 3, 4, 5 rounds.
But for
3, 4 rounds.
true greats, even when they like stumble or don't play as well, they figure it out and they always show up in the series they lose. Like Michael Jordan, he shows up in the series he loses. Kevin Durant showed up in the series he loses. Luka shows up in the series he loses. The whole the whole pillar. I didn't hear this mental toughness talk. When
It's not toughness.
Luffy.
It's not toughness. Stop saying that.
In Wanda.
mental like
That's crazy.
okay, whatever this mental aspect. When Luka lost to the Clippers like 3 years in a row, the dude was like dropping 30 points.
Can
per
I
game.
understand your critique? Your whole thing is you want him to be good right?
No, I'm saying don't give the man excuses.
But
as to
you're
why he's
saying it's
playing
like
bad.
because he's not
If
at
he's
that
great.
level because he's playing bad right now, right?
Yeah.
At least he wants to show up.
No, because we're talking
It's not
as
an
if he is a
excuse, though.
superstar. If we're
It's not an
talking if
excuse,
he's
though.
a
It's just a
superstar and a top 10 player in the NBA, you're not going to give excuses.
Would
to
your
other players
criticism
like
be
this.
different if he's averaging 32 and losing? Would that change your criticism because he showed
What do
up?
you mean?
That's what he's
Like
saying.
he's
yeah.
if he's
You wouldn't use the mental criticism.
No, but you're saying like you're taking these people showing up in these big moments or in the big times. If Edwards was averaging 32 and losing, being frustrated, would you then like retract your showing up statement for him? You're saying he's a superstar, right?
Yeah, that means he's showing up. He's playing well.
But that's what it would take for you to like let him like off the hook on that. He showed
Yeah,
up.
I think he's going to show up too. I'm just saying that the excuses that we're giving him now, based off him being young and him being here for the first time, if you're truly great and a top 10 player in the NBA, we can't give you that excuse. You got to tell him he sucks and he has to show up.
I'm not.
It's because we agree. At the end of the day, like we agree that he needs to play better.
But I'm
And
not
we're
going to
not
look at
saying
him
it's an
differently
excuse.
because of these
Yeah.
2 games. That's all I'm saying.
We're not saying
it's not docking anything for me because he's not playing well right now.
Okay, I'm not going to look at him differently either. I still think he's a superstar in the NBA, but we have to hold him accountable for his losses. Same way we're talking about him being one of the greats, or people comparing him to Michael Jordan, and being like, damn, Anthony Edwards destroyed the
he
Suns.
gotta
Damn,
show up
he's
if
the
they
next
wanna
face
win,
of the
right?
league. Damn, like all these good things we're talking about.
He has
about
to
him, we
show
have
up. I
we have
agree
to
now.
give him the
I
same
mean,
criticism for him being
if
trash.
they want to win, he has to show up.
At the end of the day, yeah.
But even
These
now,
2 games
since we're
proved it.
reacting
These
to
2 games proved it.
and the third game to Minnesota, like, dude, Nasri's been playing better than him.
Nah,
Nas
he's been going off.
Reed's different, bro.
Yeah, that
We
nigga's
can't-
nice.
They're
Yeah.
game planning
Respect
Edwards,
Nas
bro.
Reed.
You do respect Nas.
Nah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like we agree because at the end of the day, he needs to play better.
No, but
Like,
I
he
don't
needs-
like your mental thing.
But it's not even that's an excuse. It's just a reason. Like it's just an analysis.
We're
of
just saying that
what
he can
he's looking
overcome it. Like, it's not like, oh, he's hit his ceiling.
done.
Or
He's
whatever.
No,
cooked.
You know what I
but
mean?
the fact of it being brought up to defend what he's been doing, playing bad, like, is something I don't like.
I think we're just giving a reason as to why this may be. I'm not saying that it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not-
I'm
it's not like
saying-
it's okay.
yeah, it doesn't make
It's
it
not
okay.
okay.
It's just
Guys, I
saying
think he's
the
taking.
reason.
I think he's taking the Jordan comp way too literally.
No,
He's
I'm
like
talking-
Jordan would have had
And
the
he-
mental
yeah, 'cause
fatigue.
I was
No,
gonna
but
say,
I'm
Jordan would
just
have
saying
had the
we're not-
mental fatigue.
When it
you
comes
don't
to
compare him to other greats that
Yeah.
are in the NBA
Well, we
right
gotta
now.
chill with that.
currently.
Why are we comparing him to
Yeah.
LeBron before this dude has made
Because
a
we're saying
finals
he's
or
the
won
next.
one MVP?
If you're saying he's the next face of the NBA, you got to
True.
show us. Like, we hold everybody else accountable, but we don't hold Anthony.
Oh,
Edwards
he's
to the
on
same
the
standard.
way to being the face of the NBA. We didn't just crown him the face of the league already.
On,
you know?
Yeah, on the way, like we said,
I've
like
heard they
John
call him
Morant's
next
on the way too.
Next face of the league. That's what they call him. Next face of the league.
Okay, but
He's not the face.
I just feel like we praise him as if he's like a superstar when he plays well, as we should. But if he's playing bad, we should like criticize him as other superstars.
I
do,
think
like,
your criticism is fair, but it's all we just shouldn't go overboard with it. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about media and like social media as a whole? As what
no, I'm
they're
saying
right
in
now?
general. How you feel? You feel that he's a superstar talent? You feel he's a top 10
yeah,
player?
nigga,
in
you
the NBA?
trash, nigga. Get better.
I'm just saying, like,
Go out there and
What
ball.
the fuck?
Go out there and ball. Fuck wrong with you?
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
You disappointed Minnesota. No,
That's our motivational segment for the
yeah,
night.
but I mean, I can't say because LeBron shows up in losses, other people show up in losses, but like, say when LeBron lost in the finals in 2013 or something like that, obviously it's a grander stage,
Yeah.
but people were killing him for the loss. I'm just saying we should give him some, or sorry, 2011.
I feel like it's to me
11.
it's a little too early to go this crazy because like I hate when we do that. Like they were doing this with Luka a little bit, and I hated it when like in his second year he's like, bro, his team's not making the playoffs. Is he like relax,
Yeah.
dog?
He's
We need to
ball
chill
dominant.
out.
He's a scrubs.
You know what I mean? Like the whole like, is it gonna work? He's James Harden 2.0,
Yeah.
right? It's like I think we need to chill out and let players kind of develop and at least get to the point where they've built some type of like resume for themselves. Like this is really Ant's first playoff run, so that's why I'm being a little nice to him about it. I agree, he should be
I
better,
understand.
and they got to be better if they want to win. And if they do lose a series, then I think it'll be a fair criticism. Everything we said,
Yeah, like
And
they lost because of
just
you at
wait.
the end.
yeah.
Like,
So and even then, like even if they do lose, I'm still gonna you got to get better. But I'm like, okay, show me as opposed to like I'm out on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As like I'm still got faith in him to do it, but I would just need to see it. So
Yeah, I think he'll figure it out inside of Minnesota in 6. But to the Mavericks point, I want
Wait.
to apologize to the
yeah,
Dallas Mavericks.
Let's go to Mavericks. Yeah, that's good.
I want to apologize to them. Sorry, Luka. I forgot who you were. I forgot your name. But Anthony Edwards does in the playoffs. You do every night in the regular season.
Okay.
yeah.
I apologize.
That's just
to,
no-
Oh, we got to bring back the what was those SGA and Luka means like SGA got 32, 6 and 6. That's Luka's halftime stats.
Yeah, like
That's how I'm feeling right now. Forgot about your game. My good friend Kyrie Irving. You too. I feel like this is the best he's been playing since 2016.
Definitely in
In
the
terms
second
of-
half, I would say that. 100%.
That's that.
100%.
But, so he showed up and there's no drama and he's showing us who Kyrie Irving really is. The bigs too. Derek Lively, his first
Oh,
year,
man.
showing up,
He's going crazy.
making all these dunks. Gafford showing up, making all these dunks. Some people like you
Gafford's
said-
been getting in foul trouble though, but other than that, yeah, he's been
Yeah,
good.
for what he's supposed to be doing.
PJ
they're
too.
giving
Oh
him
my
easy
God.
shots and they're making it. PJ Washington.
PJ, man.
For like the
special.
criticism you were talking about before, like people were saying, "Oh, Luka's ball dominant. They're never
Yeah.
gonna make the playoffs
Yeah.
with him." Saying that he has a team now and he's showing like he's still him and they're winning. And I thought this series would be over in 5 because of the defensive prowess that Minnesota has. But give credit to Jason Kidd too because he's putting Anthony Edwards on shutdown right now.
Yeah, they're
Karl
playing good
Anthony Towns,
defense
too.
again.
They're
Yeah.
playing good defense.
Which I'm a little not surprised by, but they don't really have the perimeter guys. Like, there's no one guy you look at like, oh yeah, he's gonna lock up Ant. So it's,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that they're doing it shows a lot
Shows
about
it.
their team
Yeah,
defense.
and the coach. So yeah, Dallas, I apologize. I still have Minnesota in 6 or 7 now, maybe because I think Luka will get you one more game. But Luka's not even 100%. This dude's doing like 80%.
I think what's impressive about Luke, like the whole heliocentric thing we're talking about it, like what's different about him is he's such a good passer that like yeah, he's really like ball dominant and he looks to score and stuff like that. He can get tunnel vision, but the fact that he can make passes at the last second, like there are so many passes today where he got to the rim and just like around somebody's body or all the way out to the
It's
perimeter.
just straight up skill. Kyrie is doing the same thing too when he like fumbled the ball and like lobbed it up too. I forgot Kyrie had like that little like lob or passing effect in his game too. Like because I thought it was just Luka and Luka would be the only one throwing up lobs or passing it to the corner. But Kyrie showcasing his playmaking abilities too. and that's another factor that I didn't take into account. And it's
You know,
showing
like
now.
Their offense is just crazy. Yeah.
Luka has 5 triple doubles so far, and then like in the playoffs, and only Jokic has 2, and then like 3 other people have 1. So he has like more than.
And we're not
everybody else.
talking about it. We're praising
Yeah,
Anthony
like-
Edwards more for what he's done.
He
in
has
the past
more
before.
triple doubles than everybody else in the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure everybody but like Tatum is eliminated already on that list.
Oh yeah. So he's going to only increase from there. Probably.
Yeah, like
I feel like we're just used to it. We're used to greatness.
that's
at
what.
this
I'm,
point,
yeah,
right?
that, I feel like
don't appreciate what he's doing.
I think I appreciate what he. I think the stats I agree with. I think what he's doing now, though, I feel like people should start waking up to like, because he's doing it on the biggest stage, right? We wanted
Yeah,
to see
but I mean,
this.
he
Man,
was
I
doing it.
forgot.
He was doing it. He got to the
You
Western
and most
Conference
people.
Finals before, and like he still performed and they lost, and people acted like he was ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they lost. But it's like I hate when people look at just like. You're not like, what are you watching? You know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah.
just look at win loss, it's just like, if you are you gonna look at win loss, just look at the end of the game.
It's just
Yeah.
it's
And
kind
wait,
of like
you know
the
what I mean?
Russell Westbrook thing where we started taking the stats for granted. Like, oh yeah, it's just nothing for him. So
Yeah.
and then
wasn't
but when you
impacting
watch the
winning.
game, it's like, oh no, these stats are like he's doing stuff with these stats. It's not like I'm just gonna throw, get some
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
throws, get some rebounds.
People try to call people stat patterns. I'm like, bro, like, do you understand how hard it is to get stats?
Yeah,
like,
and
if it was that easy to stat pad, like,
Like
anyone
stat
would
pad
stat
all
pad
the
it,
way
yeah.
to a championship.
Yeah,
what the
like
fuck?
anybody would stat pad if it was that easy. Like, if it was
No,
that
but I
simple.
forgot how like Luka's clearly the best player in the series. Like
Yeah, it's
with
like
the Anthony
man,
Edwards
Yeah.
propaganda and stuff,
Making
like,
it- making
I
it
know
seem like
Luka
it's
was
close.
better, but
a
people are
good
making
point.
it seem like it's close, and we weren't even really thinking about how Luka is literally him. And
at all times, like
But it is crazy how like back to the same point. I just want to reiterate. It is crazy how like Luka was doing all this, continuing what he's doing, and people forgot about him. And then like because you don't want to know why I feel like when people see like people make jumps or breakthroughs, they tend to focus on that more. At least in
Yeah.
today's generation. So when Luka's putting up 34, 10 and 10 every night, every playoffs, they're like, oh okay.
every
okay.
year.
It's
Luka's
just
gonna
like-
Luka's gonna keep doing it, so it's not gonna matter. But him doing it is like insane at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Like
I
bro,
don't know,
that's
it's
not
because
normal.
he's like boring or it's consistent. Like you've seen it so many times. It
You
becomes
thought that
boring.
Gobert step
You
back
see,
was
like-
boring today, brother?
Obviously not. No, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
But like with
Eyes
Anthony
wide open.
Edwards, first round, you see him doing like the DX suck it,
Yeah.
saying Jamal Murray's like
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. I don't care about him. Like,
Yeah.
Then even him, Game 7, waving bye to the crowd, and Jaden McDaniels doing like a
Oh, that dunk
self-walk.
have me
No,
crying.
that was crazy.
That should have me crying.
Jaden was insane.
That should
for
have me crying, bro.
Bro, they're doing it
That's
like
some
this
real
is
shit.
entertaining, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
okay.
it is.
Jokic is like, brother,
Yeah.
brother.
That's
Luka,
so funny. Where you
Luka and
actually
Kyrie,
crying,
they're
bro?
just doing their jobs, you know.
Yeah.
They're winning games.
No,
Yeah.
Kyrie can't speak out. He's gonna get flamed no matter what.
That's
He already
right.
knows probably.
And then like even Anthony Edwards is like, oh, I got Kyrie next game. And then he's like, oh, I told Denver,
Got
I told
tore
the
up.
Ball Boys are going to Game 7.
He
Like,
did a good job in the
Got
first
tore
half.
up.
Did you see what Lucas said at the end of the game?
No,
I
I'm
showed
talking
you?
about the
It was
first
like,
game.
see y'all,
Oh.
what did he say?
First game, yeah,
See y'all
like,
bitches or
Yeah,
something?
that's why he had to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah.
Like,
Did you guys see that clip? Luke at the end of the game, after the game ends, the crowd he texts to the Minnesota fans. He's like, see y'all bitches or something.
no, he said go home, bitches.
That what he said. He said, go home,
Yeah.
bitches.
and we know he has it in him too with like the whole Booker series. I feel like once the cameras like close in on the top 4 teams, or when like teams are showcasing who they are, Luka shows up and like starts talking trash, and that's when we start realizing it. Like today, and then
Oh, that nigga was screaming at Gobert after he hit that too. I'm like, bro, like,
Man.
imagine they gave him a
Sometimes you
tech.
forget.
Imagine they gave him a tech.
That
and
shit
he had
hurt me a
free
little
throw.
because it's like I saw the play coming because they didn't make no attempt to like switch that or blitz
So
him or
bad.
anything like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, dude,
You can't really blame Gobert for that because like the team
Look
put
at
him in a
this
bad
Yeah,
position.
yeah,
like,
it's not his fault.
He's
I mean,
gonna
like,
seen this
what do you
right?
expect?
Second,
Like,
go look at it.
What does his face look like? I can't see by the angle.
Here, let me see it too.
he's doing a.
he's like, oh damn.
Look at this.
He's
Thing.
like-
Like, you can tell Jaden in this picture. Jaden
When you know
McDaniels
it's
is
gonna
like,
happen,
damn,
Go help
like,
him, brother. Why you making that
Brother, why you
face?
looking
Yeah.
at
Go run at him.
Right.
double.
he
Like-
said.
The only person that you shouldn't run off is Kyrie Irving. I know PJ's been great, but like,
Everybody else. No.
I'd rather him take a shot after Luka's taking the last 6 shots and he's out of rhythm than have Luka just do his dancing thing on one of the worst perimeter defenders.
He has like an 80% chance of making it because he's clutch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has
that
boosted
too.
stats in that moment. He
Like,
got
I know who
slider.
the ball's going to.
He
Like
got plot armor,
yeah.
bro.
How's
You
Even
gotta fucking
Kyrie's
blitz
like,
him.
oh, I'm going to the
Hassan
corner. I
called
know
it the
like
whole time. Hustle
yeah.
like Gabe. It's Luka time. Like it's
I even
Luka
saw the
time.
step back coming too. 5 seconds left. Like Gobert on him. What else is he gonna
Yeah,
do? Like he's not gonna drive.
That's why I'm like, go blitz him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They let the switch. It was like a lot. It was a 20-second. Like when they called the timeout, 20 seconds left in the game. So you had time to switch to run somebody else at him.
Man. So
Yeah, I
then
don't
if Luka wins a championship, do you think he's the best player in the NBA? Do we have to crown him as number 1?
Well, let's see how he does it too, because it's like, is he averaging 40 in the finals? Is it a sweep? Like
Context.
things.
If
like
he gets to
that
the
matter.
finals,
we
he's definitely
know-
gonna average like 32.
That's
It's
what
like
we're
if they
thinking, right?
sweep him, also like that's gonna be huge
Oh, yeah,
versus like a
that's-
7
Game
game.
7.
Oh, they
Yeah.
just barely squeak out. You know.
But
Look,
he-
man, I
like-
was a Luka believer. Like when we were talking early on in the MVP voting, like I was still
Of course.
a Luka dude because I'm just
Video
like
game stats, man.
He's got to be top 3 though, right? Like at least.
He's got to be top.
Yeah,
3,
he's already
by now.
If he goes to the finals, he's top 3.
I think he's already top.
He's
3.
already. I think.
I think him,
top 3.
Luka,
take
him,
Giannis out
Jokic,
the conversation?
No, I would take
Giannis or Embiid?
Embiid?
yeah,
Giannis or Embiid?
I would take Embiid. Second round merchant, you got
Oh yeah, facts, 100%.
No, I think
First
Luka was
round.
two conference finals for Luka in the West and
No,
0 for
definitely. I'm
Embiid in
taking
the
Giannis
East.
over Embiid. What?
It's close.
Yeah.
I
So
take
Giannis
That's what
Giannis.
I'm saying,
over-
Jokic, Luka, and Giannis. Those
Oh,
are the
okay,
top 3.
okay. Because when you said
But the crowning
Okay, I
of
get you.
Yeah,
because Jokic, like, there's no doubt in my mind, there's no better NBA player than Jokic in basketball.
yeah.
But then if Luka wins the championship, doing the way that his style, averaging 40, like
Because you're upon the
Am
status
I
that if
gonna,
you
like-
win, you win. You win your number one.
Honestly,
that too.
bro,
But the way he
actually,
wins too, like context.
It's
makes
hard to
if
sense.
you're
pick
looking
against
at-
Jokic because it's like he does similar shit and he's bigger. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
When it comes to
insane.
like winning, you can have an argument, but like Jokic has had, I would say, better teams. But it's like when you look at just stats, I'm like the only thing
that's debatable too. Honestly,
That's debatable
is.
because Kyrie Irving is like one of the best players.
Kyrie
now
Irving
I'm
is,
saying,
is
okay,
the
now,
best
yeah,
player.
yeah, now-
Like Jokic does never play with a guy like Kyrie.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know
Probably
if I'll
never
say
will,
that
too.
the Mavs
he
are a
might.
better team than the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets would have actually probably
Overall,
beat 'em.
probably.
You got to
but,
put in
you know,
Jokic
the
into
be-
the
the-
factor. He like benefits all the players. He raises
Yeah,
their
yeah.
That's
their
true.
attributes,
But-
their level.
my main point
friends
is
from
that
work.
like when it comes to like scoring and passing, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
Like I think Jokic has a slight edge when it comes to passing, but the biggest gap they have is rebounds, and that's just almost his size. You
and
know what I mean?
defense. Just because Jokic is bigger, he's much better. Like, he's
Yeah,
rim
but
protector.
Luka, this playoffs especially has been like an improved. Like he's putting in a lot of effort. Like
I'd say
defense-
exceptional.
they're not-
I'd
always
say
say defense is
exceptional.
like
No,
80% effort.
defender, no.
And the first round, he was exceptional.
Good.
The first
Good.
round, he was
You can
exceptional.
say good. Exceptional.
Bro, he was like
no.
Nah, he
5
was
for
great. He
20
was
as
great
a
in the
primary
first round.
defender.
He was really good in the first round.
Exactly.
But
That's what I'm saying.
To be fair
that
though,
was
is
2
there a
rounds ago.
guard that? Yes, SGA is good, but is there a guard that will like mix him up and take him to the basket like Kyrie,
Yes.
like
Anthony
Luka?
Edwards.
Like,
right
who
now?
could do it?
One
Who could
thing
do
I'm
it?
gonna say is
Like play style.
this
Maybe
game.
Brunson?
This game, there was a couple possessions where like since he's doing so much on offense, he comes back on the other end, he's gassed. That's when you have to attack him because he's not gonna give. He doesn't have the
Oh, well, yeah.
athleticism to like make up for the fact that
That's
he's
how Golden
gassed.
State beat him. They just hunted him down, and
But-
Curry will cook him. Like,
That's what the
him
down.
Timberwolves have to
Work
do.
him down.
But Jason Kidd did a good job. He called timeouts. He got subs in at the right time, so he was good
And
when he
Anthony
needed
Edwards
to be.
passes the ball too much. He's been a bit passive, and he's not being aggressive enough
I
to
feel like
get it
that's what
going.
I'm
I feel like he is being aggressive, but he's being aggressive and attacking the rim, but he's passing out because he's scared to take a bad shot. Like he's
Or
getting
find
to
a
the
better
basket,
shot, yeah.
but then he
Yeah,
passes out to
he's
Cat or
overthinking it, I'm
Nas or
telling
whatever.
you. He's
That's
for sure
a-
overthinking.
It's a him
himself.
problem. You got to figure it out, right?
He's young.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
yeah,
That's
he
the
got
experience.
time.
That's inexperience. That's where experience
Yeah.
comes in.
That's why he got to figure it out through trial and error. I think that's something that you can't just like your coach can't just tell you.
Might be
That's
tough
what I'm
because
saying.
this
Only, like,
roster
only-
is really, really good. I don't know
But
if
at the
he'll
end of
get
the day,
a
only
better
like
roster to-
generational players are that good at 22. Like I guess if you want to take the MJ comp literally, and people think that he's
Yeah.
gonna be the next MJ, then you can hold him to that standard. I think it's more of a stylistic comparison than and like
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's-
agree.
You know what I mean? Like
I
it's
agree with
also
that.
like a media thing, but it's more of a stylistic comparison.
Me personally, I don't care about
And
the
it's
age.
like-
I mean, if you're good, you're good.
Style-
Yeah, but I'm
Stylistic and
saying like
attitude
when it
make a
comes to
difference.
like when it comes to 22-year-olds producing in the playoffs like that is really only like a select few. Even the
Handful.
top,
It's just
it's
tough
not
to hold
even
him
the
to that
top
standard of
15.
the
Yeah,
greatest
like
of all time.
it's not even the top
Yeah.
15. It's probably like the top, like you know what I mean.
You're
I'm saying
above.
the
Like you
superstar
talk about
though.
KD, who's all time great. You know what I mean? There's talking about LeBron.
Are
you
they not
talk
on the
about-
same level right now? Though.
No, but he's saying like
No,
these
but I'm
people that
saying-
we're comparing him
In
to, like
terms
to
of,
do what they do
Are
in that
literally, like,
age.
top 10.
or like,
Superstar status. Go
but
ahead.
that's
No,
above.
no,
No,
no.
no,
What he's
that's
trying
like
to say
that's
is-
like
I know what
not
he's
even
trying
just
to
superstar status. That's top.
It's
echelon
above. It's above
status.
superstar.
Yeah,
Like Hall of Fame.
So
Why
if
do
he's
you-
this
yeah,
good at that
like-
young at that time, I get what he's trying to say. Like
Yeah,
it's
like-
it's a like you're a superstar, sure, but you got to be better than like
That's no. There's
then when
like
he shows up,
potential
he-
GOAT status,
Potential-
and then there's superstar.
it's like potential top 15, like potential top 20 player of all time.
I feel like you just got to.
Who at 22 is doing this? Like think about that's what he's trying to say, right? Who's
Yeah,
22 is
That's
doing
what I
this?
don't like. If you're gonna say
Why?
that, then hold him accountable for his L's too. Because if you're holding him, oh man, he's 22, he's doing all this.
Okay.
But then when he loses, he's 22.
Well,
He's-
No,
I mean,
no,
at
that's
the
the
end
same
of the day-
attitude that you're getting.
No, but
Brother,
okay.
flaming him right now. What are you talking about?
At
brother?
the end of the
I'm
day-
not talking about everybody else.
I'm
I'm talking to you.
Okay, at the end of the day, like it's still a knock against him because if people do think that he can be the next MJ, whatever, be a next all-time great, this is showing that at least for now, if he continues to play bad this series, it shows something that those people had that he didn't show this series. You know what I mean? So it will be a slight indictment against him when it comes to like being an all-time GOAT status player, but he can still be a superstar,
still don't
still
agree
be a
with
Hall
that.
of Famer.
I
You
feel
know what I
like-
mean? Like
I feel like even if he does play bad, let's
Well,
say
yeah, he
throughout
has
the
more
entire
chances,
series, yeah,
like-
like if he bounces
yeah.
back, no one's gonna remember this shit if he wins a
Yeah.
championship next year.
yeah,
you
I
know?
guess yeah. Later,
Two
like he still
games
has
losing,
chances and stuff like that. But I'm saying like when it comes to talking about the upper echelon of just NBA gods. Like,
Yeah, well, Jordan is like
it's
the
just
guy.
like
God.
it's only a select few of 22-year-olds
saying,
who
like,
go crazy in the playoffs.
If he's
You know what I
playing
mean?
well and we praise him like he's one of those guys when he plays well, but when he plays bad, we don't hold him accountable like those guys. Then you can't. I just want some consistency. You know?
No, I think he
I
deserves
get what you mean.
criticism.
I get what you mean.
He definitely does. Like he's not blameless. The
Yeah.
loss is
We're
definitely
only in game
on
2
him.
though. Players have had bad games,
Yeah.
but we can save that if he loses the series and plays bad the same way through the end of the series.
I
Then
just
it'll
don't
be
want.
ether time.
I
but-
just don't want to see ESPN like is Anthony Edwards not the guy. Like, come on.
No,
like,
he's
that's,
definitely not.
that would be
Definitely.
that would be crazy.
yeah. We
Wanna
can talk
about
about
the boring
Eastern
series.
Conference.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Celtics Pacers.
I'm telling you, dude, the Celtics have had like I'm like the playoffs. I always have to preface the playoffs have been amazing, and but except the Celtics because
Celtics, yeah.
them niggas is so like every series
They're
they've had
not
has been
fun
so
to watch.
boring.
It's like
yeah.
you know what's gonna happen and it's not even pretty. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna watch them. We're gonna watch Jason Tatum be ass. We're gonna watch them be up by 20.
Jalen
Brown
Brown
bailing out.
shot.
Jalen Brown
and
bailing
then
out.
Jalen Brown
Yeah, yeah.
wins the
Every
game for
shot.
them.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown gets
then-
an and one damn three in the corner.
All right, I actually had
Like-
like a little thing on this on the agenda. I just want to talk about Jalen Brown and like the argument is like, oh, it's a team thing. Like Jason Tatum doesn't have to be aggressive, but it's like Jalen Brown is taking all the shots. He's being aggressive. Like he's actively looking to score. If you look at them playing a game, like Jalen Brown is being aggressive. He's taking shots, even if it's contested. Like, and every team needs that. That's why we get on Anthony Edwards. Like, oh, you're not being aggressive.
Yeah.
It hurts your team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown's the one doing that for the Celtics, and I just feel like we haven't seen Jason Tatum really even do much. Like. And the Tyrese is Halliburton's injured now, so it's even less of a reason probably for him.
Yeah,
to
He out there doing
and
TikTok
it's
dances.
just- I'm just hurt because I know we probably won't see it in the conference finals even, and it's like
It's a
he's gonna
cakewalk.
be getting to the finals, like getting all this credit from the media and stuff when he's had forgettable play, not even series, a playoff run in general. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of one moment from him in the playoffs like that he's had. So it's just
Last game,
I don't know.
The first game was his first like wow.
Were we too quick
Game,
to
like-
crown him like a top 10 player in the league?
No, he's averaged
no.
30. So
I
No,
think
yeah, I don't think
I
we're
had
too
I have
soon,
an
but-
opinion on Tatum that I was just thinking about lately. So like we know Tatum, we bash on Tatum for lackluster performances. His team carries him. This is like the vague perceptions of him, right?
Okay.
this season.
Good umbrella terms, yeah.
But like I still think at the end of the day he's the number one player on his team and people game plan around Tatum. So when teams are versing Tatum, they are making him the sole priority. Yes, Jalen Brown is more offensive, more shot hungry, more aggressive than Tatum. But I think he's able to do that because of the teams and how they operate around Tatum. They don't want because I think about it like this. I'm thinking about a team. If Tatum gets going, they're for sure gonna lose. But if they limit Tatum, they have a chance. But obviously Jalen Brown is a dog,
Check.
so it's hard like to do that.
Tatum has more skill. He's
That's-
the best
yeah,
player on
but
the team
ex-
easily.
it's
But
not-
Jalen Brown knows his role and knows what he's supposed to do.
But
He's supposed to
because
shoot the damn
Tatum's
basketball.
there, I think Jalen Brown has that little more freedom than
That's not
what
true
he-
because
I don't
he
even
do it on
agree
other
with that
rosters.
because
Yeah, I was gonna say.
it's also
I say
Jason
that, but-
Tatum. Like
100%
his decision making is bad. Like he'll have an open lane and take a step back 3-pointer. Like it's not even just I'm
He's
not
like
taking
6'10",
a shot.
he don't want to drive in.
Or like I'm getting defended by the best team's defender, so it's harder for me. I'm gonna let the other guys cook. Like it's literally him choosing to be passive. Like there's so many times where he can get to the rim again, especially against the fucking Pacers. They don't play defense. Miles Turner runs away from rebounds, and somehow Jason Tatum can't get to the rim, or not even can't. He just chooses not to. Chooses to
will
take
not.
long
He will not.
jumpers.
Yeah.
Like. And it's I don't know if it was game 1 or 2, I don't remember, but it was definitely game 1 when they went to OT. Like he was just non-existent until the overtime period where it's like, okay, I guess we got to win, so I'm gonna start being a little more
I guess we
aggressive.
gotta
But it's
win.
I
like
think it's coaching. Honestly, I feel like the Celtics are the best, the most talented, unserious team I've ever seen in my life.
for sure.
Yeah, they're a joke. But
It's
the
like,
team
oh,
is so talented.
if we can win, we will. But like
Yeah.
we won't try. Like what the fuck?
And I think that's coaching. I think with Ime Udoka, people would set roles for him. Like if they had a coach that was actually well respected and knew what they were doing, then I feel like Tatum would be more aggressive and would take this team more seriously. But it feels like they're just free balling. It feels like Steven Silas Rockets, but with good players. Am I wrong?
It's just like pick up for like the All-Star game. Like
Yeah, because man, Drew Holiday sometimes doesn't play well, but like the team plays good, so everyone kind of eats. Like it's kind of
and
hard.
this is without Porzingis too. Like
Yeah, they're just better than everybody else, so I feel like that's the reason why Tatum is struggling. But I know he's capable of being so good because the years prior we've seen him drop 50. He has the
that's
most
what
games, 7
frustrates
points.
me. It's like
He
Yeah.
averaged 30. Like he's a superstar. He's a top 10 player easily in the league. But I guess figuring it out because of the coaching and then like how everything the structure is built
yeah.
is why it's so difficult for him to do what he's
Man, it's hard to crown him a top 10, bro. I
He
really do.
easily is, bro.
I get what you're saying with the easily is part, but then when he does shit, like I'm like, bro, how are you top
His
10?
players are stupid.
But
He can be 10.
what Gabe, when it comes to what
He's
Gabe said,
stupid.
when it comes to what Gabe said about like the game planning stuff, I'm like, that's not an excuse at all. Like, like at the end of the day, every single superstar in every playoff series is getting game planning,
and more so than Tatum,
it's-
I'd say.
Yeah, and it's not an excuse. Yeah, facts. He has a much better team. Like you have to pay attention to way more than just Tatum.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like people like Luka, people like I don't know Jokic. Like I mean, it's hard to game plan around Jokic, but it's like those people are getting game plan for night
way
in
more
night out.
attention too.
Yeah, and it's not if they play bad, they play bad and they get flamed. Like it's not an excuse to be like, oh, they're game planning. It's like that's to be expected, and that shouldn't be an excuse. Like that's the standard you have if you're a superstar.
The East is
Then I
such a-
guess he's not there yet. That's I don't
Who?
think he's at that level. Then I'm not gonna give it to him.
Tatum.
Yeah,
Why?
You're du-
Because so
you
you're
can't
saying
say
that
that.
you're saying that he can't overcome the game plan.
he's done. He does
Dude,
this.
he
He
dropped
overcomes.
50 and
No,
he
no,
has
that's
that
the
the
game
ability.
plan.
It's just a
Yeah, he
mindset
can,
thing.
yeah.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not-
He
not-
does
has
it.
a talent.
He
He's a top
does
10
it and he
talent.
doesn't. He does it like he goes in waves for this guy.
It's the Anthony Davis thing.
It's like he'll give you 50 one night and then 9
Anthony
shots.
Davis is a
I
superstar.
think-
Jason Tatum is a superstar.
No, I'm not saying he's not a superstar.
Okay,
I
he
think that-
is.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
not.
I'm
I-
saying.
It's impossible for
Bottom
him
line
to
does
be a
not
superstar.
support that statement.
I think Tatum has just been spoiled since he's been in the league. I've been saying this for years, but he's been spoiled. He's been on amazing teams.
But does he not show up?
He does. But
Championship
I'm
team
saying,
off
like,
birth, bro.
But I'm saying
Championship
like
team
right
off
now,
birth.
right now it's kind of like he can still.
Born winner.
He's gone through his playoff series.
Win a damn.
He's gone through his playoff series and being able to do this. So it's like he's had great games that he's went out and won for them, but he's also won series that he hasn't had to go that crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like he doesn't have that dog night in night out because he hasn't really had to throughout his career. He's had really good teams that
That's
he can
fair.
rely
I'll give
on
you that, but like,
through his series. You know,
it is kind of similar to Anthony Davis. If you put him on any other roster, though, he's still gonna cook.
I'm
I'm
saying
not-
like Tatum has the talent and has all the
Mentality.
ability in the world. Yeah, but I'm saying like he's been used to not having to go crazy every single game to win a series.
It's not even
Like for the most part, he's had good
I feel
teams
like
that
it's
other
not
people
even
can rely on, and he's had Jalen Brown.
Not
for the most
even
part.
just the fact that
forever.
he hasn't had to. It's like he has people around him that have not bailed him out, but like Jalen Brown could take those shots for him.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm
so it's
saying,
like he
like-
doesn't have to take them every single
Yeah.
game.
But I'm saying that he falls into that like passive mindset. I feel like
And it's frustrating to me
Pampered.
because like if they were cakewalking, if they were beating the Pacers by 40, whatever, like it doesn't matter. But like they're getting into OT games, they're barely scraping out wins against the Donovan Mitchell-less Cavaliers. Like
That's what
that's
I'm saying.
why
I
it's
think
like
The Miami Heat.
I think they're gonna
Without
get to
Jimmy or
the finals and get
Rozier.
exposed again, like the same way they
And
did to
we'll
the
expose him
Warriors.
too.
Ooh,
Tatum.
Yeah,
If he
fact,
loses-
I-
this
honestly,
is
sure.
he's on
He'll
fraud
have-
watch.
he'll get it the
100%
worst.
fraud
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
This series is 100% fraud watch. If you don't win, then you're done to me.
like
You're-
let's
like
say
Gabe
the
said,
let's
he's not
say
a
the
superstar.
Wolves.
yeah.
Or he's
Let's
just
say
not
the
number
Wolves
one.
Pre-crowning it and pre-crowning.
Let's say the Wolves do
Taking his
somehow
crown
come
off.
back and win the series. I'm like, if Jada McDowell's on him, I don't see Tatum like doing all that great in that series.
We'll
you know
see,
what I mean?
we'll see.
Like,
Really,
I'm
you
not
don't-
saying
I agree.
don't see
I
it.
agree
I
1,000%
feel
on
like
100%.
you have to 100% put him in the same conversation as Luka Doncic.
who?
Tatum.
Why?
No,
Because of what he's done in the
Oh
past.
God.
He's
Nah,
the top
not
3
really.
player.
Oh
to you?
God.
No.
Top 5?
No.
What?
Top 5, 10,
No,
top
no,
5,
no,
10,
no,
top
no.
You know,
5, 10.
Embiid is like 4, right? So you're saying he's right after Embiid. Like, I want to hear this.
I have
SGA?
to think.
SGA?
I'm taking Tatum over SJ.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm
Because of
taking
his
Tatum
size,
over
yeah.
SGA too.
Who are you taking, LeBron or Tatum?
LeBron.
I'm taking
Moving
LeBron.
forward, like right now.
So Tatum's like
Right
7 right now off
right
rip.
now, like-
Tatum is 7
Oh,
right
you're
now off
tripping. You're
rip.
tripping.
No,
That's
I'm not.
crazy.
He's
I'm
been
taking
winning.
LeBron.
LeBron,
KD,
LeBron didn't even get out
nigga,
the first round.
no,
LeBron's a
not
winner.
I'm not rolling. Put LeBron on this Celtics team, nigga. They're going 16-0
But he
through
has
the
Anthony
playoffs.
Davis,
Like,
though, like,
okay, but I'm saying put LeBron, replace Tatum with LeBron this
he doesn't have
year.
a scrub roster.
This year.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Put him on the Celtics, not
Put
like on
LeBron on the
fucking Hornets.
Celtics.
Yeah.
This is not hypothetical.
better than
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Is he
Oh,
better
now
than
Mathematical.
Curry?
it's not hypothetical.
Dude.
Is he better than Curry?
Huh?
Yeah.
Tatum?
No, come on.
So
now.
that's
You
another
even
one.
know that.
Wait up, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not better than Curry.
That side.
Yeah, he's not. But
No, he's not
What
top
about K-
five.
what
He's
about
not,
KD?
he's definitely not better than
Curry
LeBron.
doesn't have
Then.
No,
Anthony
no,
Davis.
player for player. Who do you
Huh?
want? Who do you want? Player for player.
Curry's better.
Okay.
That's
What about
simple.
KD? This I was
KD's
asking
better.
before.
KD's
Okay.
better.
So
He's
in
not
this
top
ranking,
five.
in this
Tatum.
ranking, Tatum's
Yeah.
like 7 to 10, right?
Okay, but top 10 is still in the
You
same
can't take those
conversation
two.
as
You
the
can't
number
take
three
those
guy,
two.
But
though.
not top
and
five.
not take Braun over
Huh?
them.
Not top 5.
So you can't take those two and not take Braun over them.
What do you mean?
I'm taking Braun
Braun
over
had
Tatum.
a
I
far
feel
better
like
season.
The top 10 guys are all in like the same conversation.
Nah.
I feel like.
Also,
You
top,
think
I think top 4, 5
No,
are
but
different.
I do
like,
think
it's
Tatum's
different
top
levels
10.
in the top 10.
Yeah.
Well, top
Definitely
five is not the
tiers.
same as top 10.
The
right?
top
Yes.
three. The top
So, like,
three is not the
Jokic
same
is
as.
on another level.
Like S plus
than
and S.
LeBron.
Everybody,
S plus
everybody.
and
He's
S.
on.
You think-
He's a different. It should just be Jokic, then a
And
little
then
bit of
another
drop
tier?
off, then like the 2 and 3.
You
See,
think? You think?
I think
I-
Jokic is
I'm
that
with him
good.
too.
I'm
You
sorry.
say-
Nah, I think Luka's closer.
I think
to-
Luka's in that
than-
middle tier you're talking about. That's a space.
No,
I think
he
he's
is.
there.
He's definitely
He's in
2
the
and 3.
middle tier.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I think
We'll have
Luka's
to see
closer.
how
than
If he
to
finishes
Jokic
the
than
deal, I'll
seems.
agree. But like,
Yeah.
it's too early. It's too early
That's
to say
true.
that.
If
So
he
you
wins,
think
if he
there's
wins,
tiers
I'll
in
put him
top
closer
10?
to
Yeah,
Jokic
I
than
agree.
Luka.
I agree.
So you think there's like tiers in the top 10 basically?
I think one
Besides
thing.
one, like
If I had to be nitpicky, yeah, I'd say that. If I had to nitpick some
I would
players,
say
yes.
Jokic is just so much better than like. There's
besides him, let's take him out the conversation.
Yeah.
I think
Let's go
Embiid
to
is above
planet
Tatum too,
Earth with
clearly.
I
everybody
think like the
else.
last three
Embiid
of the
is
top
clear.
10,
Honestly.
the last three, like 3-4 spots of the top 10 is the ones that can really interchange year by year.
I'd say Embiid's
You know what I
the
mean?
best
Like-
player in the NBA, like with his current talent.
Who?
Embiid. We'll say like his.
Why do you want to say that?
Oh,
So
but
we can-
outside of Jokic.
I'm so confused.
So because Jokic is, I think Jokic is in another tier.
Okay.
Let's
So
pretend
Embiid is
okay.
like the best. We'll say Embiid's the best.
Yeah.
You think he's above the tiers of LeBron James and Jason Tatum's of the world?
You mean Giannis too?
Giannis's of the world?
Tatum's
No,
not there.
I'd say he's with Giannis and Luka. Like
And you
that's
think
a
there's
tier.
another tier break?
Yeah, and then after that can be Tatum, LeBron, and all that.
I'd still take
Yeah.
Braun over Tatum, but yeah, I'd put Braun.
I agree. I'm
like,
taking Braun over Tatum, but
I
I
put
think
Braun
they're in a
like five.
similar tier
Okay,
as
that's
opposed to Luka, Giannis, and Embiid.
And Braun's like
I
50.
can see the tier.
Braun would be my top. He'd be my number 5 in that rankings.
I'd have to think
Right
But
about
then
it.
you think it's a tier break after 5? Then I think it's
After,
one.
like-
'Cause, nah, Shea,
After,
Shea,
like,
Shea
8.
probably better than Braun. I think so. At this
Nah,
point,
Braun does more still.
I
Like,
don't know because
But if
Braun
we're
still does
picking
more.
if we're picking
Braun
LeBron
was in
over
the
Tatum, we
finals
gotta
last
pick
year.
Shea
we
too.
got
Yeah.
we got a
Tough.
segment for players, so we can. Well, I don't have LeBron in it, but
Braun still does more on the court.
What about
Alright,
AD?
So then boo the Celtics. They're
Let's
gonna
talk. Let's
win.
talk about
And
AD. Actually,
We'll see them in the finals. We'll see Celtics in the
We-
yeah, we don't even have to analyze those games, man.
I don't even want to talk a single lick about
We'll analyze the
business,
games
bro.
in the finals,
yeah,
man.
we'll
Like,
talk about it when there's some real
Analyze what?
competition.
Oh, Jalen
like
Brown,
okay,
oh
this
my
this
God.
our
Jalen Brown,
analysis
game winner,
our
oh my
analysis
God.
is the Celtics are just a better team. That's
Tatum, what is that? Sidestep brick? Oh my
Wait,
god.
Straight
going
up
on?
cakewalk. This is one of the
Yeah.
worst Eastern conferences I've ever seen in my
Did
life.
you see the one I
bro.
sent you guys the
Knicks are
TikTok?
good. That was
The
it.
Mickey Mouse TikTok? It's the Mickey, and it's everyone getting injured like everywhere in the East, bro.
Even if they're healthy, bro, it's still. I mean, no, the Bucks would have been.
the Orlando Cavs series was much better than any Celtics
series,
series.
yeah.
like
Every Knicks game was better.
every Knicks game was
All the
better
Knicks
for
games
sure.
are so fun to
One
watch.
Knicks game is better than the
Knicks
whole
carry the
Celtics
East.
series. Like
Knicks were the most fun team to watch in the East this year.
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
Because they're all the
I'm
games
sad
are
they
close
lost.
as shit.
Yeah.
I'm so sad they got blown out in the last 20
I mean,
minutes.
Honestly,
they
it's
got
like
injured.
they just ran out of players.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
We'll see you in the finals, Celtics. Well, then we'll talk about you then.
yeah, we'll do some analysis.
and
there.
y'all better
Make
get
it.
out of there in 4 or 5. If it goes to 6 games,
What? Hell no. I think they're getting cooked in 5, 6, maybe.
well, if Tyrese doesn't play, it's
No, you're
4.
talking about the
Yeah.
finals.
Oh,
We're
talking
talking
about
about the
yeah, facts.
You think they're getting? We'll talk about.
I
This
think
when
this,
it
yeah, I
happens.
think the Celtics are getting
God,
cooked in the finals.
my dream scenario is the Celtics getting swept in the finals. Chef's kiss. Oh,
I would
my
love
Oh
God.
man, I'll start beating.
Oh my god, you know me.
Pack
I'm gonna buy
watch.
an
Yeah,
authentic
facts.
Celtics Tatum jersey and burn it. I swear to God.
You gonna buy it and burn it?
I'm gonna go find. I'm gonna go find the greenest pack I could find. Go smoke on it.
This is for Isaiah Thomas.
I'm gonna have the greenest pack.
Oh,
That shit's gonna look like dye.
We could talk about AD a little bit because I just had him on the agenda. He was the only player this year to make All NBA team and All Defensive team. So my question to you is, it's kind of just a fun conversation. Is he the best two-way player
Yes.
in the league?
Judging
And
by
if-
what-
yes.
If he's not, which is I don't
100%.
know if there's a wrong answer. Who would be the other in contention for that spot?
Only other person.
Because
close to him.
Tatum would have been in there,
Yeah.
but he's on fraud watch, so I don't know if we're putting him in there still. But
I think the only person that could have a chance, I'm giving it to AD first,
Wemby?
first and foremost. Wembanyama. No, I'm
but
kidding.
not yet.
I
But
think
yeah,
I think a close match would have been because I'd like to see more from Shea's defense. I mean, he has what I want to say like he's good at as far as perimeter defense, passing lane, stuff like that. But I mean, AD just does way more. So like I'd give it to Anthony Davis. But I think the next runner up I'd pick would be like either Giannis or Shea in that regard.
To be honest. Yeah.
Kawhi? We're not gonna talk about.
Hell no.
Not this
The
year.
defense fell
Hell
off.
no,
The defense
nigga.
fell
Fell
off,
off.
yeah.
Offense
So my
fell
next
off
two
too.
picks would have been Giannis and SGA.
No, it's definitely Giannis. Not
Offense fell out too. He averaged 23
Yeah,
points.
because I was talking about SGA then. I remember when Giannis exists.
Yeah, wouldn't Giannis be better?
Nah.
I think
Not defense wise.
He averaged 30 and like
No, I think-
60% field goal
I think
percentage.
but not the defense though.
I don't know. It's very close because like this year was, I don't know. He had a good year this year, so I don't
Yeah.
want to undermine it. But
course.
it's just like the team was not winning at the
As
same
we
level.
wanted them to, yeah.
So and Anthony Davis stayed like surprisingly healthy this year, so you got to give him credit as well. And
Giannis
he was.
didn't make the all defensive team. Not this year, huh?
I don't. No, he did. I think.
Giannis
He was
this
first,
year?
it was all big men first team. It was not like Bam,
Yeah, yeah.
Gobert, Vic, Giannis, and
Giannis
AD.
would be on the list too.
Uncle's
right?
complaining.
All-NBA, first team,
Shy-Town
yeah.
is like, you guys wanted this. You guys wanted
Yeah,
position on this
I
pick.
seen that
Now you
shit.
guys got to live with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
He's
It
like,
was
making positions
basically
rare.
I'm fine.
all
I said,
big
okay.
men. All the big men were first team, and all the guards were the
Second
second
team.
team.
Yeah, that's fair. bro.
which I mean,
fair because all the bigs were really good defensively.
Yeah, if you're going off impact, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like,
It's like I get there's
Probably
an
give
argument.
Gobert the DPOYs.
People are saying the argument like the guards got to work harder, which I get, but at the same like
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
harder
it's-
for them, but that doesn't make you a better defender. You know, like,
Exactly.
was Jaden not first team?
Let me see.
no.
No, it was second. Him,
Oh, that's
Suggs,
crazy. Okay, maybe that's
Derrick
crazy.
White,
Caruso.
Drew
I would have
Holiday.
put Jaden first
Oh, I
team.
can't click any.
It was
well, at
literally all
least
the
one of them.
bigs.
Yeah.
It was Bam, Rudy, Anthony Davis, Vic,
Good images.
and maybe it was Herb Jones. I think.
So first
Oh,
team
so
was
her. Well, at least
What
her.
the
was
fuck?
You
like
got it.
a
Yeah, pull
regular
it up
forward.
because fact check. It was Herb Jones. Yeah,
first
Herb
team.
Jones.
So it was Bam, Abdemayo, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones, and Victor.
Yeah, Herb.
Then
It was
second
Herb.
team was Caruso, Holiday, McDaniels, Suggs, and Derek White.
I have
Oh,
no.
wow, so you
I
didn't-
have
You put
no
in. You guys
qualms
taking.
about
You
that.
guys taking Bam over McDaniels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bam,
Yes,
because,
yes.
because Bam could guard the center
guess
better
so,
than
yeah,
he's
McDaniels
bigger.
could.
And
Yeah,
he
he's
has
bigger.
better
So-
playmaking ability too.
Well, I mean, this nigga with his
Playmaker.
defense.
Oh, you just talking about
defense.
strength?
Yeah,
Defense.
his defense. Yeah.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
improved his
Bam
offense
too.
a lot this
That's
year.
what I'm
too,
saying,
so
like-
he could be in that two-way conversation a little bit.
I'm trying to
I
think
mean,
like.
He improved this year. You got to take another
Yeah,
step
he
still, but he started shooting threes at the end of the year, actually.
Which is
So
good
I
for
feel.
him.
I feel like
AD
McDaniels should have been first team, but I'm thinking like who.
I think
I would
Herb
even
Jones
wanna
is a better
change.
defender.
Same.
from my
I
opinion.
mean, I do think Herb was a better defender, but
I like
trying to think.
McDaniels.
You
I
guys
think
like
second
Herb
team
better
is-
than
I
McDaniels
mean, second
defending?
team is good.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
100% or like
Herb
or like
is-
80%.
No,
Yeah,
100%.
he's good. He's elite.
You know.
But yeah,
I mean, McDaniels is good. Like, don't get me wrong.
It's either
but,
Giannis
yeah,
or
sure.
Anthony Davis. But I'll give Anthony Davis his flowers this year. He showed up. He played
Yeah,
games.
balled out every
Played at a
every
high
game.
level. Made the All NBA team. Made the All Defensive team. They got first rounded, but
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
that's
you
just
for pointing
that's
that
his
out. Like,
circumstance.
thank you.
It's his circumstances.
for
at
the
end of
regular
day, like-
season, he did his thing, and he promised to play a lot of games this year.
thinking back to that Lakers series, Darvin Ham had like the right idea of what to do, putting Rui on Jokic and having ADB help, but it's like it can't be Rui. It has to be another big. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Hayes.
that's what the Timberwolves did. They put Cat on Jokic
Yeah.
and then put Gobert at the rim. If we had AD at the rim and like a JaVale McGee instead of fucking
Yeah.
6'8"
I still
Rui
don't think it would have
Hachimura.
mattered because
Literally.
Jokic will still get his. It's just people
Nah,
around
but
him.
No,
it's just
the
the
game
time.
plan
It's the
would've been more
timing
effective.
thing, though.
The
It's
game
the-
plan
It
would've
would,
been more
yeah,
effective.
we wouldn't have gotten
I'm not saying he
5
stopped
games.
scoring, but
It would have
No,
been
I
like
saw
a
he's
6-7
effective.
game series.
The only reason he doesn't affect the game is if people don't score.
But it's
Am I
that
wrong?
slight timing effect, like that
I
somebody like Dwight and JaVale were giving.
Like certain runs. in
It's
the
because
game.
like Jokic can back down Rui much faster than he was backing down.
And he can just shoot over him.
Yeah,
Like,
and he can shoot over
Dwight
like
Howard.
that
Yeah.
size and length is like it'll give you at least a split second more than Rui would. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
see
And
your
sometimes
point.
that's all the.
But he'll
the
still
what you
score
need.
in a different way. That is my
I
point.
think, but it's like
I mean, no one's
your
stopping
game plan.
Jokic.
Yeah,
that's my point.
you gotta
That's why.
affect him as much as you can.
Yeah, that's
like,
right. That's all I'm
that's
saying.
better
Everything
effective.
counts.
Yeah.
Everything counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's why it was so
Throw
much
the
more
kitchen
effective.
sink at him, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
what I'm saying.
It was so much more effective with somebody who's 7 foot than 6'8".
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
bring it back
Fucking
next year. You never
got
know.
fucking a stiff back. No offense, Rui, but
Yeah.
he's not the fastest lateral movement for his size either. But
Yeah, so who do we say? Giannis.
Giannis and AD probably top 2.
yeah,
Who else?
Shea, Bam.
I think Bam and then
Shay's a good one though. He's a good.
a healthy
guard
Embiid
defender.
would get there too because interior Embiid's
Oh,
a demon.
yeah. Yeah.
Because we
But
were
I
having
feel like
conversations about Embiid and AD defense.
Second round
offense, remember?
merchant
Yeah.
until you to me like you got to go a little like
Yeah. Until you
But
prove me wrong.
calling him
prove
a
that
second
wrong.
round merchant and then we're calling
you're
AD
31, brother. You got to
But-
do something.
But
AD has
I
a
don't want to
chip.
get. I don't want to. AD,
AD has a chip.
exactly. I want to bring that up. We're calling Embiid a second round merchant for being the number one on his team, but AD was with Braun.
And
Why-
But
Embiid
he
was the number one.
arguably the most.
well, Embiid's
Embiid's
better than him.
had
We're not
insane
arguing about who's
teams.
being better. Who's
Embiid
better.
Embiid has had
No, no,
Jimmy
no.
Butler.
I wanna give
He's
Embiid more
had
credit.
Tyrese Maxey.
Ben Simmons.
I want to
Dwayne
be
Wade.
Harden.
more credit in the conversation.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
Because
Ben
he's number
Simmons.
one.
Now.
AD's a number 2.
Yeah, but we're not saying who's better. We're saying who's better. Who's a better two-way player?
Yeah, but Embiid is like a number 1. AD's not. AD is not to take as much.
I mean, is
impact
AD
like
really
role
number
as
2 though?
LeBron.
Okay, but
You understand what I'm saying? Like LeBron's number 1.
I
AD
do. I
has
just
to
don't
get
see
his
how,
like he's
how
a
it's
secondary.
relevant to the conversation.
But also LeBron as
The
a
way-
number one is not like I'm gonna
Yeah, of
score
course.
every time to
Yeah,
take over the game.
number one
of course.
LeBron is just a ball hand. Like
Like
ball handler.
smartest player on the court.
yeah, he's
But
he's always gonna be
Embiid's
number
game
one
is
in that
predicated
sense.
off Embiid initiating offense. AD doesn't initiate offense. What I'm saying is when I think about this two-way thing, I'm like Embiid has to focus more on the offensive side than Anthony Davis does in his team. So therefore, I want to give Embiid like more credit to what he's doing both offensive and defensively.
shooting split. I mean, the points per game average isn't like super different.
It's not super different, but he's also like an MVP. Like
I do agree. with
AD's
you.
not MVP.
Obviously, yeah, Joel is better than him, but in terms of playing a
Yeah.
two-way defender,
Embiid's
the
also
reason why
very
he's
good
not on the
defensively.
AD's a
defensive
better
list.
defender.
on one hand,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say on one hand, like I know I'm the king of the DPOI plus the offensive side too, but like, so I do agree that he should get a lot of credit for being so good offensively and being good defensively, but I still think AD is a better defender. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm not gonna say he's a far better defender, but there's
The
I
impact
think there's a
is
gap.
noticeable.
Yeah, I think there's a gap
You say there's a
between.
gap now.
I think there's
on
a gap
80's
between
defense
the
and
two.
It's not
Joel's.
huge, but it's
Yeah,
a gap.
I
like-
said it before. That's what I wanted to hear. Say.
And so I think that like his right there that makes it up. Plus his resume is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to actually winning the games. So I think right now you at least got to give it to
I can
AD.
see your argument for like winning, like Embiid that hasn't had LeBron James, but he's had help. So
He's had amazing teams. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I just wanted to talk about that argument for Embiid and AD because a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, people would love to say Embiid is a better defender and offensive player than Anthony Davis. When I was just solo picking it out, like AD was better.
I think there was.
I remember talking about Hassan about that. That's why I brought it up right now.
I mean, Embiid's a better player, I still think, but
Yeah.
it's just like
I think
AD
there was a
does
time where
more on
Embiid was
both
a better
ends.
defender. Or
That's why I wanted
was
to
a
bring this
time,
up.
yeah, for sure.
And I remember we talked about this. We talked about
It was
this.
like last year. It wasn't even that long ago. It's
Yeah.
just, he's
But
kind of
now I want to see where people stand on that take on AD's defense compared to Embiid's defense because Embiid also was an MVP type of player. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny. Well, not funny. It's just ironic that like people were hating on AD for all these injuries, but really it's Embiid who's been hurt more by
A lot.
the
Yeah,
injuries
way
than
more.
AD,
A
you know
lot.
what I mean?
yeah,
So it's just we'll see what happens next year. I'll give him a little pass because he came off like surgery immediately, hopped into competitive basketball, but
That
dumb.
is
We
true.
should have just
He probably should
did
have
the
relaxed.
Giannis route. We don't look at Giannis any differently for sitting out of that.
Yeah.
first
Damn,
round.
man. You don't look at it. I'm kidding.
I mean they got a big offseason coming up, so we'll see. They got a lot to Tobias Harris contract.
Oh,
Get the fuck
brother.
out of there.
Hate that guy, man.
Okay, we can talk about the JJ Redick as front runner for Lakers coach, and then we can get into the NBA draft stuff and then the career stuff I got. But JJ Redick as
Front
coach,
runner.
front runner.
How do you
Any
feel
any thoughts?
As Laker fans,
So this is what I tweeted this out. I said Theo Vaughn assistant coach,
Mhm.
Joe Rogan as the head athletic trainer.
What
or
are you
hiring
doing
podcast.
now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, on one hand, I think JJ Redick knows a lot about the game.
Right.
I enjoy their podcast. You know what I mean? It's crazy seeing like how it's comparable to when you hear like a quarterback call a play.
don't
And it's
know.
just like,
It's like
how
Aaron
the
Rodgers.
fuck, like,
Aaron Rodgers
yeah,
doing
how
all
the
the
fuck you
fucking
remember
audibles.
that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think other head coaches do know the same, if not more than JJ Redick. It's just
No,
when
I
he
mean-
Let him
showcased
finish
on
his
the
point.
podcast.
yeah, but so it's not like but that's one of probably my point. Like, I think when it comes to knowing the game like that, he knows just as much as he may know just as much as the other coaches. But I still think there's a lot to be said about going out. Like, I was mad about the Darvin Ham firing because I didn't want to get a rookie coach, and this is like beyond rookie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, this is not
Brown
even.
shirt.
It's a
This is a brown
podcast.
shirt.
It's not even like so many assistant coaching jobs, and then now you're a head coach. Like, this is literally like.
Nothing.
First
yeah.
time
Yeah.
coaching
Commentator.
anything.
Commentator.
like-
He's a commentator too.
And so,
like Steve
on
Nash.
one hand, I think that it could work out if
But didn't
it's
Steve,
just
didn't
like
Steve Kerr do that, or was he a coach?
he was
before?
a GM.
He was a GM
for the
Suns.
Pacers- or the Suns.
yeah.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Well, oh, I didn't know that.
But
Interesting.
but even that like it's not that much. But it's like that's still a little bit more than
Redick.
what
No,
JJ
yeah,
has.
for sure. Yeah, I just didn't know that.
So I think it's like if they do end up hiring him, which at this point it looks like they might. I think that there's a chance that it could go well because they know the game so well and they can like. Part of Darvin Ham's issue was also like adjustments. I think that JJ Redick could possibly be a really good adjustment coach, but there's more to the game and stuff than like just doing adjustments and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
To
And
me-
that's like things that other, at least lifelong assistant coaches will know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me, like just going off of that, like this, it would be okay if Lakers fans and just the organization is okay with like we're gonna have games where we lose because JJ has no experience. Like he's
Yeah,
gonna make a
like-
mistake because he's a first year
Yeah.
coach.
It's
If
gonna be
they're
like a
okay-
project. Like,
if they're okay with that, like if we can be patient with him, which I don't think the organization might be because they just got to focus on
Yeah,
themselves.
fans are
The
scared.
fans,
Yeah.
no chance. There's no chance the fans will be patient about it. So, I mean, you just got to block out the outside noise as much as possible. But you're
if
you're
that's
gonna
what you
be
go with.
there's gonna be a lot of games where JJ like, oh, it's his first time being in a late game situation, like down this, no time, whatever. Like the situation is, he's just never been there in any capacity. Where the only way you learn is just by being there and going through it. You know what I mean? Whether you get it right or wrong,
Trial by
I'm
fire.
not, it's just by trial by error or whatever. But I'm not against it because I think he has potential to be a good coach at some point, but it's just going to be a lot of growing pains with him. And I
Yeah.
just don't, to me, I'm okay with not being amazing right away because like in the situation we're in, the West is getting better. Our team's getting older. We kind of have to look towards the future. I'm okay with not necessarily being the best team in the league. Like I don't expect that either, but I know the fans won't agree with me. So that's why
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough situation to hire like a guy like that.
But
I
you're
know.
okay with waiting for him. Like,
I'm
getting
okay
him and waiting.
I'm okay like being again what we were like 7 seed this year. I'm okay with that again because like I understand that it's a process and like it's for the long term vision. But I know fans are gonna be like, oh, he made this mistake here, he did this thing wrong there, fire him, yada yada. LeBron needs to win now.
Yeah, I'm with the fans on that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. To be honest,
I agree
100%.
that LeBron needs to win now, but at the same time, like you don't want to just optimize for LeBron. Like you understand he's in his last 1-2 years of his career. Like you don't want to just say we're gonna plan for LeBron as soon as he leaves, we fire everybody, we trade it. Like you don't want to do that either. So it's like it's just a hard position to be in.
Yeah, but that's why it is hard because if you have LeBron James on your team, you should be like instantly thinking win now because of his age. Right. Anthony Davis is getting older too. Like you said, your team is older, so you should be hiring a coach that helps you win now. Like the Suns hired a coach that helps them win now. If you're gonna hire a head like a first-year coach in JJ Redick with no experience, you got to make sure that the mission is clear. Like either you try to win it now or you get fired within 1 to 2 years with LeBron's timeline of his career, or you trade everybody and start young and then build them up as a coach so then he gets that experience. Because the first year, like you said, he's gonna have growing pains, and if he showcases that on a LeBron-led team, the media is going to kill him, and it's going to be really bad for him.
And they're going to get on a podcast after. Exactly. Like, how are they in a podcast? Why aren't they in the film room?
Imagine the whole pod is them arguing like, what the fuck? Like,
here's
the
whole pod. Like,
the team meetings are going to be on YouTube, basically. Like,
I think the Cavaliers. Actually, no, I don't.
No,
I was a better position for him, but it's not.
I was going to touch on that. Like,
if Donovan leaves, no chance.
I feel bad.
If he leaves, he has a better chance because he gets to build up the roster.
Yeah, I guess
if he stays, then
blowing up. Yeah.
I remember like a few weeks ago we were talking about. I think it was after who got fired. Maybe after
Vogel.
Vogel, yeah.
Yeah, probably Vogel, but
Hornets. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the coaches who got fired after the season ended, but it's like I don't. At this point, I think they've gone overboard again with firing coaches. I'm like. JB Bickerstaff, like I don't think he should have got cooked like that. Like I get that they haven't been that good.
He wasn't the problem, but he wasn't the solution.
Scapegoat.
You know?
I get that, but I'm like I think that there's an issue now with like I feel like only like top tier talent teams should be on like a 2-3 year coach recycle timeline. You know, otherwise like you're never gonna build continuity if you're a mid tier team. Like just every 1 to 2 years, just firing. Like every 2 years, firing your coach if you don't do okay. If you like, what they got to the second round. It's like, what do you like? Donovan didn't even play the last few games. What else do you want to do? You know what I mean? No, is he gonna pull him out?
Like it's more expectations because you got there last year and the roster that you have, I guess.
Bro, did you see they might can Mike Brown? Like what the fuck?
Oh really?
I said, well,
because
they're
trying to get an extension, right?
They said they stopped contract extension with him because they're like unsure of like the future.
Like
why?
That's stupid. He's literally got your team out of the gutter.
They said the execs
coaches is like getting canned so badly.
Bickerstaff makes sense.
It said the execs are like mad that he didn't replicate the success from last year after
in the West.
Yeah, people were like, so I saw someone on Twitter say like your guys' big offseason signing was getting Harrison Barnes, like was re-signing Harrison Barnes.
Help Mike Brown, like come on.
But so I say all that to say I agree with you, Bez. Like I seen that the report that they said they want JJ to be like a Pat Riley-esque. Yeah. And I'm like,
they see.
I get like so with that quote that's kind of crazy to compare to Pat Riley like off rip.
I mean,
but I also. If that's what they're going for, then I do think that if they do hire JJ, they'll plan on keeping him there and let him grow along with the org, you know. And
it's got to be a long term. There's no way you plan on hiring him if you're gonna can him. Like that would just be stupid.
That would just be so stupid.
Direction you're trying to go though.
I have a question. I have a question I want to ask you guys. And you, if you're like a hypothetical Laker fan, for the organization as a team, not for the LeBron win now timeline. Do you like JJ Redick as a hiring?
I think he's smart. I think some things you can learn.
Yeah, as a Laker fan, I like it because I know a lot of Lakers are just LeBron fans. That's why they're saying we need to win now, or whatever. And I agree with what you said. Like as a LeBron team, you should be focused on that. But for the Lakers' sake, like LeBron isn't the Lakers. It's like you got to think about the future and when he's not here and just building up a good roster. Like the Timberwolves didn't think, oh, we're gonna fucking get Kevin Durant or whatever. That's usually how you fail, is trying to get these superstars and whatever instead of building organically and like trying to force trades, trying to force coaches, trying to force winning now. Like build it up, and when you feel like okay, we're getting there, that's when you can maybe like get the extra trade or whatever. Don't fire coaches and scapegoat them and shit like that.
I feel like you can't have both though. I feel like your team needs to know what direction they're going. You can't be the 7th seed as last year and then not like have criticism on the coach for being the 7th seed when you have LeBron and AD, and try to build like into the next year or next season. If you're gonna build around the coach, then you have to build young.
And
in my opinion,
another thing I wanted to bring up is like maybe LeBron, like because even if JJ Redick gets hired as a coach, we're not saying the Lakers are going to be fucking a lottery team, right? So it's like maybe for LeBron, it's just like as long as you give him a chance in the playoffs at this point in his career, that's all he wants. Like maybe he doesn't care about being the best team or whatever. He just wants to be in the playoffs and have the personnel there. And maybe he's like, I'm willing to deal with all the bullshit during the season with Redick if it means we get to the playoffs and he's learned a lot by then and we could be in a better position. You know what I mean? So maybe, he doesn't care as much because I think he also understands, like, with that quote at the end of the series, like, oh, it's just basketball or whatever. Maybe not saying that he doesn't care, but maybe he just doesn't have that same fire that he had when he was like coming up and
No, I think he still does. For one more.
No, that quote was taken out of context. I forgot.
I know what
he said, but that's what he
I
said. It's just basketball at the end of the day. It wasn't.
No,
out
but
of
they said no because they asked him about like. I don't know. It's about being
No, they
like
asked him,
screaming,
like, are
yelling
you
at
upset or
somebody or
something?
something. Yeah, being upset at somebody. Like, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna be upset at him." You know what I mean, or something like that. He's like, "It's just basketball."
I understand, but I also do feel like
Seen him punch a board because J.R. Smith made the wrong decision.
no, but I'm saying like
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
come on now.
He's
Of course,
aging
he
now.
who else is gonna do that?
Wisdom.
I know he cares.
Some
Like,
man.
don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he doesn't care about winning, but it's like I also like he's not like I need to win a ring now to cement my legacy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's probably like if I don't, it's fine. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I feel like him and like Steph's of the world want to win one more and
Well,
play
they want to, yeah.
They
win
want to
another
win,
chip.
but they're not like they're not
playing
like
to win.
they're not like you have to give me this coach to win. You have to give me these players anymore. I think
No, I still think he's on that tip.
I think we're past that. Honestly, I don't think he's like. Some of the shit they're saying is crazy. Like, they didn't talk to LeBron about, like, okay, get the fuck out of here. You obviously asked him about
Yeah.
the coach. But I also don't think he's, like that Westbrook trade, he definitely demanded that shit, like, or pushed for it to happen.
As he
Now,
should.
I think they're still talking to him about it and asking for his advice and, like, what he thinks. But I also don't think he's pushing for shit like he used to. Because I think he sees that his career is, like, coming to an end. And he knows, like unless he wins one more championship, nothing else could add to his legacy. And I don't think he sees like an easy way for his team to do that. So I don't think he's stressing about it as much as he would when he was in Cleveland or something like that. Personally, maybe
That's
I'm
fair.
wrong. I don't
Yeah,
know him.
The
but
pressure is not as much, but I feel like he's still playing at an all-time like level. He's
He is,
like
for
Omari
sure.
said, he feels like he's a top 5, top 10 player. So if you think that you're still playing at that level, you should demand success at that level as well. In my opinion, but
I agree. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the
it's a
day,
good argument.
what we saw in that first round is just like Bron and AD were great every game.
yeah,
You know what I
The
mean? Like
team-
there was nothing to even say about them two not
Coaching was bad,
performing
though.
or Bron aging or anything. It was just
Yeah.
the rest of it was the coaching and then the role players. were
Yeah,
just-
I mean, plus
what I mean?
it's
Like-
deeper than coaching. So it's like even with the JJ Redick thing, like it's not gonna solve our. Even if we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a better coach, it doesn't solve all our issues.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
You just have to see it. at that
We're gonna have to make a little-
How do you guys like
moves.
Dinwiddie?
I mean,
He's going to China, brother.
yeah. I mean,
he's done for.
Yeah.
He'll get minutes next year.
I was about to sing it. Damn.
All
Part two.
right, let's get into a little bit
Oh.
of the fun. What?
well, I want to say one more thing
Go
about
ahead, go ahead.
the.
No, keep cooking.
Also feel like the pod, like I keep seeing Stephen A talk about like, oh, like he had the podcast, oh, like we see what, you know what I mean, like I can like it's conspiracy, and I'm like, I watched 3 weeks ago, I watched JJ on Shaq's podcast, and he was like, me and Bron have always like, not always, but he said like, you know, you would see each other in passing and stuff, but he said they weren't like friends or like talk like that until they decided to start the pod, like they weren't like buddy
Yeah, for
buddy
sure.
for super long,
Yeah.
and but people make it seem like Bron like
He planned this.
so
out.
yeah, like playing this
Best
out this
friends
whole
with
time.
JJ,
like,
and this is all.
yeah,
part of the
like
plan.
they're best buds in the whole world. I'm
The
like, nah,
conspiracy
like
theorists.
they came together to
They
do a
work
podcast.
together.
Yeah, they came together to do the podcast because like they enjoy the
Obviously
game,
likes them,
enjoy
though.
talking about the game.
Another point.
And I
on
agree,
that.
like they like them, but people act like it was a master conspiracy plan.
No,
you
To
know
get
what
him
I
as
mean?
a head coach now.
Yeah.
Another
That's
point on
not
that, like adding on to that, like I saw it. JJ Redick didn't even vote AD in any of his all defensive teams, and like
Really.
yeah, and
So if
people
there's a
saying,
conspiracy
Yeah,
theory,
he not clutch controlled.
he's not brainwashed.
he not clutch
He
control.
keep it real. Whether I agree with him or not is a different story,
Yeah,
but he keep
right.
it real to himself.
Definitely
I think.
him having LeBron and him having a podcast helps his case of getting the job. If so, you know.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, LeBron definitely vouched for him because
Yeah.
of that, you know, because
But
They
no,
were-
the conspiracy theory to get Darvin Ham fired and him like the head coaching job.
Darvin Ham was
That's
getting
what I'm
fired
saying. That's what
regardless.
people like. Oh,
Yeah,
they talk
he was
about,
getting
oh,
fired.
Darvin Ham would have get
Yeah.
fired. Yeah, anyway.
I'm like, bro, dude, like look what they did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Would you
Conference
rather have
final,
Darvin Ham or JJ Redick?
if you're
I
superstars,
don't know.
like
We'll
you,
see. 'Cause
you
JJ
really
I know what
Redick-
Darvin Ham is. I don't know what JJ Redick is.
That's
So.
a
might be
fact.
worse.
Hey, but hey, I'll still take it.
Would you have Darvin Ham or Steve Nash?
Wait, say that again?
I thought he was about to
Hammer,
say
Stephen
Stephen
A.
A.
Smith.
Smith.
I was very Stephen A. Smith.
I don't know. He
Nash.
comes to celebrity games.
Steve Nash,
Darvin
Darvin
Ham.
Ham.
Give me Darvin Ham. I'm sorry. Steve
right,
Nash
see?
was hugging Kevin Durant during games. Like,
Yeah, it might
thanks
get.
for saving me.
I forgot about that.
At least Darvin Ham wasn't doing that shit. He
But
was
this is like
just
bottom 3 coaches of all
the
time.
Harlem dudes.
Yeah, but Steve Nash didn't have any like experience, and he got
dudes.
hired. That's why I'm putting the 2 and 2
Yeah.
together.
But
What
that's
if
like
JJ
JJ
Redick,
Redick.
Steve Nash?
I hope not, man. And Steve Nash is one of the best point. Damn. Bro.
Yeah,
Test without
you could
fouls.
Damn,
argue
man.
that he's smarter than what JJ
Might
Redick
be.
is.
Nah,
Yeah.
hey, but at the end of the day, he's like a Kerr. Like and when it comes to like their role, you feel me?
Oh, JJ.
Like as a
What?
player, you know.
But I think it's
Steve Nash-
personality. How do you lead men? Is
But
what-
I feel like
not
the-
not
say
the
that
X's and
When we
O's.
talk, like usually the role player, former NBA players are better
Are
coaches
better,
than
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
stars
saying.
are because they have to learn more about the game to be good as opposed to the
fair.
star
Like
players.
How's Jason
Rivers.
Kidd been doing? Is he alright? He's
I
like
mean,
mid,
he's
right?
here.
He had
he's
a,
doing
he
his
had
job.
a rocky start though.
Yeah.
With the Nets and the Bucks, that shoe and well, he
To
was
be fair, he
assistant.
has a
Laker.
superstar at like
assistant.
every step of the way.
Yeah.
Man.
He
But
got
it definitely
carried.
remember when he
He had a
with-
generational
That
player
helps.
every time.
That helps.
That helps a little bit.
Remember he was on the
still
Nets?
underperforming, like-
He was on the Nets one time and like they were losing the game or something and he
the
told one of
water
his
thing.
players to run into him and just
Yeah.
go to
Yeah,
that's
I
200
love,
200
I
IQ.
love that clip. I
200
love
IQ.
that
For
clip.
real.
Play the clip.
He was
Just to get a
finessing him.
timeout.
He was
Yeah,
finessing.
he's definitely smart.
But he's been improving though, so he's one of those guys. But we'll see, man. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. It might not. It might just
See
be
how
a
it goes.
curveball for everyone to think we're getting JJ, and they're like,
Just get
oh,
somebody
yeah,
else,
it was
like an
just-
Adrian Griffin type of guy.
yeah.
Nah, I'd rather have David Adams.
Just the guy
Give me
who's
Sam
putting
Cassell.
his
Sam
time
Cassell.
in.
Sam Cassell would be good.
I think a lot of the former players have vouched for him, so that's
Sam
why
would
I'm
be
just like,
fine. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
All right, y'all want to get into the who will have a better career or the
Yeah.
NBA draft stuff?
Draft and then we can end with career, I guess.
Okay, so
Which one's cooler?
the
All time, I
all
guess.
career
time
one,
stuff
right?
is cooler, so we'll finish
That'd
with
be-
that.
yeah.
All right, the NBA draft stuff. Let's see if any of y'all did any research.
I didn't. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
I
was
locked
working
in
this
so
shit
hard, Bez. You're
A
gonna love
little
this.
bit. I just asked
Bez,
you to
I locked the
research.
I'm going
I
off the
think so.
dome. I was at
I
work,
locked
man.
a
I'm-
freak in,
If
bro.
he can go off the dome, but I don't know if he even saw what I sent. I gave you a little
Yeah.
cheat sheet.
Let
on
me
what
see
it
what
is.
you. Let me see. Hold on. Let me review. Let me do a rough.
So let's start with the easiest one. Well, not the easiest one, but I mean, it should be an easy call if you did any research whatsoever. Who do you think is going to be the best player from this draft?
Nikola Topic.
I know. Hold on. I know it's going to be. It's considered a weak draft class, but there's obviously, like we said, there got to be one star or at least all-star level player. Who do you think that is? And you're gonna say Nikola Topic. You're gonna stand on that.
Nikola Topic. He's the second coming, but he's also shorter than Nikola Jokic. So I'm go. Oh god damn! I hit my. Hold on.
What happened?
I hit my nothing.
You're nuts?
Yeah, I my phone on my nuts.
Oh.
Anyways, Nikola Jokic is a tall guard with a deft passing touch and the ability to create opportunities for himself.
Don't do this to yourself. Just if you don't know shit, just say less.
Sorry, it's Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr. I'm picking Alex Sarr.
Okay,
There you
is
go.
that your final answer?
Final
All
answer.
right, we'll clip the rest of that out. Don't worry.
Facts.
I'm going Alex Sarr too. I'm assuming that he's gonna get drafted to the Atlanta Hawks. They already
Okay.
have 2 stars and they actually develop players pretty well with who's that dude that popped off this year?
Jalen
Jalen
Johnson.
Johnson.
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, that guy.
And then Trae Young was a
Uh-huh.
star and he was a 5th pick. And if they keep him and DeJounte Murray, I think that Trae Young's really good with centers and the lob game, so I think he'll play pretty well and he'd be on an all-star path. And then he also has the blueprint in Victor Wembanyama being that height, so I think they'll develop him
And he's
pretty well.
French, so.
There you go. And
Wembanyama?
they're dominating the
Who
league
we
right
yelling
now.
him too?
Okay. I'm gonna go with a different player. I'm gonna go with Cody Williams, Jalen Williams' brother out of Colorado.
Okay.
I think he has good size already coming into the draft. He's 6'7". He has a 7'1" wingspan. He shot
Damn.
42% from 3 at Colorado. So a lot of those NBA ready skills. And so I think at the very least he will be a good 3-and-D player. But the thing about him that I saw on tape that I think sets him apart from his brother, he's like a much more natural point guard and a playmaker. And I think if he can develop that part of his game, he can be one of those guys that handles the ball. Like, I know we were shitting on him, but Jason Tatum, I don't want to call him like he'll be that, but the type of player who handles the ball, can score, and can play defense. That's all I'm saying. Like, that mold of
or
player.
is his like mock draft projection?
Projected like 7th pick, 5th pick around there, like anywhere
Okay.
between there. So,
It depends on the roster that he's on.
yeah, I think if he develops well, I know he's not the biggest name. I just think he has all the tools to be like a two-way wing, and I think those are some of the most important players in the league. And even if he doesn't become like this superstar, because I don't think anybody in this draft is generational. So I'm just gonna go with the player I think the
Can impact
safest
the
in my
team with
opinion.
the role.
Yeah, and I just think him coming from that family, he already has a proven brother. He's he's a smart, high IQ player. So I'm gonna go with him.
It's a lottery pick too. So,
Yeah.
all right, Omari. Anybody in mind?
You know I'm here. The GOAT Junior. No, I was kidding. Honestly, I only know a few people. Honestly, going into this, I know it's like
That's okay.
not that big of a class, so I haven't really felt the need to
no need if
to
there's
go
no
crazy
hype,
on some
honestly.
research. Like,
No need if there's no hype.
but I do know about Alex Sarr. I know that he's like not a Wembanyama clone, but he's
Big French big man.
another alien type of build at least.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so I feel like that is a safe bet. I have heard of Jalen Williams' brother too. Hopefully, I think that is a good thing that Jalen Williams came in as just like a role. You know what I mean? He was a role
model.
player,
And he was
even
NBA
though,
ready though. Like
yeah,
he was ready to
he was
contribute.
he was already, and he quickly became like what he is now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
like
only been
all-star
3
caliber.
years now, right?
Yeah.
We can say he's all-star caliber, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Caliber.
J-Dub?
J-Dub, yeah. At that level, he's not all-star yet, but he's.
It
was
was
No.
like borderline, like
Yeah.
I get
Borderline.
what
That's
you
a
mean,
borderline.
That's
Like
what I'm
Chris
saying.
Middleton,
That's
that's
why I
like-
say.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. Caliber.
And so I feel like if he can come in and if he can show that same type of growth, you know, and that same
Yeah,
rapid growth,
That's what I'm hoping
yeah,
for.
it'll be a good
It all
choice
depends
too.
on the team that drafts him.
Yeah,
But
that's
also-
that's the most important thing. Is
But I also
situation.
think a GOAT Junior is coming, so it's time.
Okay, so then we
No
can,
two ways.
we can get into
We get minutes.
so those are our best players from the draft. Who do you think is going to be the biggest bust from this draft? Let me start first because I did a little bit of draft research. So, and I know you might. Well, I don't know. You was saying something.
I was gonna say Topic.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Nikola Topic.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be a bust in the sense of like he's gonna be like out of the league. But I just think
Underperformed.
he's getting drafted. He's like projected like a top 3 pick. I just think he can. There's a world where he just kind of becomes a role player, like a Bogdanovich or like a good point guard, like average starting point guard. The reason I say that is when I watched his tape. I watched a little more of it today morning actually. He shot poorly from 3. I don't think it's an issue that his form looks good, but he seems like an unwilling shooter. Like they gave him open shots and he'll still like try to dribble in and get to the rim. And obviously he can develop
Yeah,
that
you
part of
learn.
his game, but I just see that at the next level, especially early on, that could be a concern. And also, again, this is not really like I don't want to say a knock on him, but with he's not athletic at all. So I don't think he'll ever be an elite defender, which is again, you're telling me to pick a bust. Like I'm not saying he will be a bust, but these are the reasons I think he can be.
Yeah.
Because like
these attributes.
even if he gives like the full effort, like going crazy, we see with guys like Austin Reeves, like the effort is not enough. You need to be athletic a little bit. Like he just doesn't have the lateral speed and the athleticism to keep up with some of the other guys in the league. Like he has good size. He is 6'6", but he's also really thin. So again, he can improve these things. I'm not saying he can't, but like those are him compared to the other prospects. It looked like more question marks for me. I'm not saying he can't be good, but if I had to pick somebody, I think it'd be him because of those reasons.
Yeah, because he's projected to be that high, and
Yeah.
if he's not that good defensively, if he's like a 30% 3-point shooter, and I know he's like reluctant, he's okay
He's a
at driving,
playmaker.
but
No,
other
that's
than,
that's what the good parts of his game. So
Yeah.
like to
not to-
go against that is he's really good at getting to the rim, and he's like for his size, he's one of the best finishers. I don't even know if it was in this draft or like in Euro, but just one of the best finishers overall. And he has already that playmaking like ability. So it's like it just depends on if there's because shooting is super important in defense. Like 3-and-D guys are super coveted in the league. So if those two can't be addressed, like I think he might just struggle to be elite and just be like a role player. You know what I mean?
short Ben
Oh,
Simmons.
yeah. So I guess
Playing.
depending on where he gets drafted, because if he's drafted like 12 or something like that,
The
and
Spurs would
If
be
he,
great
if he
from
fall,
the
if he
development.
falls, oh my God, to the Spurs, that'd be god
Yeah,
tier
like-
for him.
so
I mean, they could draft him at 4, but
Do you think he'll? I forgot the order. Who's gonna pick?
Who?
Like 5th, top 5? He's projected.
Yeah, he's projected like.
I was looking at
probably
some
pick.
mocks and they're saying he's like top 5.
Yeah,
so.
he is. He is.
Somewhere lower.
Who?
when I was-
It's
when I've seen.
very up and down. The only one I've seen consistently is like Alex Sarr at 1.
I see this one saying Houston. If he goes to 4, do you think
Like,
Spurs
Hu-
will get
I-
him 4th? Do you think Spurs will
That
use him
would be
at
a
4?
good, they could. I think that's
Take the
their,
chance?
Their type of player, international guard.
Yeah, that they can
Nikola
develop.
Topic. Because Spurs got
If
the
he
4th
goes
pick.
to the Spurs, I could see him being like a Tony Parker type. But like the Rockets, I don't like that for him because they already have a lot of guards and like
Van Fleet's there.
they're gonna
Yeah.
immediately ask him to come in and I'm not saying like do crazy, but they have Amen Thompson who can't shoot, so he's gonna have to be able to hit
Yeah.
shots.
It would be
So-
smart for them to. It would be smart for the Rockets to avoid Topic and get someone else that's better for their team. For the Rockets, I think fit would work better than
Yeah.
talent at this point. But for the Spurs, 4th pick, you take a chance on this guy.
Yeah.
And you could develop him.
And they're just good at developing international.
I think he'll actually get a shot because like people will say, oh, he'll get a shot. I think this guy will actually get a shot. Like he will develop. I think he
Yeah.
would develop it. Not like Ben Simmons will develop. He just doesn't. I'm long gone on that. But I think Topic will develop. Already we saw a 6'6" guard, loves driving. He has a playmaker, so he could work very well.
Yeah, it's just him. His like the biggest thing with him for me is like where he goes, because that'll determine how good he is. In my opinion, like he has those question marks for him. If they don't get developed in a good place, like I think. Like people start to be off him real quick, and it's just hard to develop that later in the career.
If he goes to the fucking Rockets, he's gonna be suck. I swear to God, he will.
I think
It's
so.
not a good. It's not a good place to develop.
It's not a good
for
fit.
him.
It's not a good fit for him.
Yeah.
He
I
gotta go to
think
the
Zach,
Spurs.
I think Zach Edey.
I
will be
did
a
see
bust.
that mock too, though. I don't know where you saw it, but I just
This
seen
one?
that this morning. Yeah, I don't know what website it was.
This is on NBA.com, but then they go lower. Then there's a bunch of mock drafts by The Ringer, then ESPN.com.
I saw him going
Nick-
third to the Rockets on like
Athletic
Yahoo
has second.
today.
Athletic has him at
Yeah.
second. Ringer has him third.
Yeah.
ESPN has him.
7.
Yahoo
Okay.
has him like 9th.
Oh, does it? Okay, it was
Yahoo
maybe a
did.
different one.
Because
Was
I
it
think
Bleacher
Ringer
said
came from
4.
injury.
Bleacher
Ringer
knows
has
what's up.
two.
second. Yeah, Ringer has.
Bleacher
two,
knows
yeah.
what's up. Fourth. There we go.
Yeah, Ringer had him 2 also. So yeah, some of
Yeah.
these guys like it's very up and down. Besides Alex Sarr.
I was gonna
so.
say I think Zach Edey will be a bust. I don't think.
Yeah,
he
that
will.
was my pick.
The
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
is, the
yeah.
Oh,
thing
that
is with
guy-
him
yeah, but-
is like he's not projected to be like a lottery pick.
That's
so
true, but
So
I think
that's
his
why I had
projection
that.
is not
That's
like-
why I had him
yeah.
in the.
I think one of them had him at 14, the one I was looking at.
But that's better than 2 or 3.
I
They
would
say
have put
Topic
him.
is 2 or 3. in
That's
this
why I
one.
put the overhyped thing. So for non big name guys, or
Yeah.
maybe you could have put a big name guy in overhyped and do him as a bust. So I respect that. Yeah, I mean everyone says if Edey's game, he's definitely one of those guys that's capable to be like a Luka Garza, elite college player, but it doesn't translate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's too tall. His game's outdated, and if he can't guard anybody,
If he
that's
doesn't
a guard.
develop a 3 either. It's
Yeah,
over.
just imagine putting Kyrie on him. Like Kyrie is, like, we just saw what happened to freaking Rudy Gobert on Luka.
Yeah.
And
He gonna be
Rudy
even
Gobert's
worse.
a 4-time DPOY. So then the guy can only score inside. So I feel like he'd be a bust if he's a top 15
It's a
pick.
fair.
14.
I mean, that's a fair pick, but
Yeah.
it's lame, but it's fair. You know? Anybody else got a different? It's fine if you don't.
No, Zach Edey's on my list.
Yeah. I mean,
Ah,
for me,
Topic.
yeah,
I'm
me,
sticking with
the biggest
Topic.
one.
Now we got biggest steal, biggest sleeper. I'm gonna go first here again, just because I did my little research. My biggest sleeper of this year's draft is Deron Holmes from Dayton. He's a big man, like a shot blocker, like very similar to Nicholas Claxton, I'd say. And I think he just has all the. Derek Lively too is a good comparison. He just has all those modern skills that you. I actually don't even want to say Derek Lively because, so this year. The first 2 years of his college career, he didn't shoot the 3 really at all. But this year, he upped his percentage to 43%. He shot quadruple the amount of attempts. So it's we had to see if it's like a fluke or like if he did improve or maybe it's somewhere in the middle. We'll see. But I just think he has all the things of a modern day big. He rim runs. He never asks for the ball. He knows that he's a role player. And he knows like
Like Lively?
yeah, basically. So that's already good enough because you know your role. You're never gonna demand touches. Your game doesn't rely on you having the ball.
Yeah.
And I think because of that. He's going to be really successful, and he's not projected to even go like in the top 15. He's like a bottom of the like. So I think he could be in steal in that sense. Like he's never going to be a star in the league, but I see him being as a super high quality role player, even on a championship level team. And yeah, he just makes smart decisions out of the pick and roll, which is huge as well.
Yeah.
I just really like him. So he's my sleeper this year.
Well, I mean, I didn't take sleeper like that far. Because I had Topic, and the list that I saw was like 7 or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll say the good things about Topic then. I feel like playmaking is kind of a dead
Lost art.
Yeah, like a lost art in this league. I think teams need it. Like that's why Darius Garland is valuable on the team. But the guy's short and he can't play defense. But Topic is 6'6".
Yeah.
So he has the ability to play defense and like you said, he's a good driver to the basket. He could drive and play make while playing defense will help teams a lot tremendously. So I feel like from the list that I saw, the mock draft, him being that low was a sleeper to me. So
Okay, that's fair. We'll see in summer league also how many we can
how
do
they
another like
once we
update
see
on
them
these
get
guys.
drafted,
Yeah.
right? Gabe Omari.
Gabe, Omari, somebody. Biggest sleeper. They're figuring out right now.
Biggest sleeper I'll say is Mark Sears.
Okay.
He was
I don't even.
he was a guard from Alabama.
Okay.
He's a
Right.
senior, but he's a 6'10" guard, and apparently
He is 6'10" guard. Hold on.
yeah.
He better be nice. That's
Wait,
the crazy
wait.
side.
No, this can't be right.
What?
It says he's a 6'10" guard with a 6'2" wingspan. I'm like, how is that possible, nigga?
Brother, man. Who built this
got
guy?
T-Rex
No, that ain't wrong.
You're like these. Like, what
When
do
he
you mean?
closes out,
No,
What do you
he's
mean?
It's
Omari.
probably 6'1". It's probably 6'1".
What do you mean?
When he
They
closes
mixed
out?
it up like no, but that would be a crazy wingspan for a 6'2" nigga too.
Yeah, nah.
So if
you
she's
should
probably
be-
6'1",
your
what's
wingspan
the
should be
deal?
longer than you.
Nah, yeah,
And your
he's a
height.
point guard.
He's
I'm
probably
like,
6'2" with a 6'2" wingspan. They just put an extra O at the end of the.
Nah,
Okay.
that's crazy. They say he was 6'10".
6'2",
Nah, I take it
6'10",
back
wingspan.
then. I thought he was 6'10". I was like, well, he's a 6'10" point guard who has a
Ben
clutch gene,
Simmons
pull
or
up
what?
three.
No, yeah, it
I'm
says
like,
shades of Jalen Brunson. He's not 6'10".
Yeah, okay, 6'2".
yeah,
then.
yeah.
He's probably
Alright,
6'2",
never mind,
with
take
a
it back.
6'10" wingspan.
No, all these niggas suck. There's no sleepers.
Here, I'll give you some. That guy go down. Tyson. I've heard good things about
Jalen
him.
Tyson.
I'm not too
I was
familiar.
looking up Jacoby Walter.
All right.
You can read about
Give
him
your
over
spiel.
there.
Yeah,
I've
pretty
heard
much.
things about him. That's not. I mean,
Oh, he's
Projected around top 15 from anywhere from like 10 to like 16. The things I was reading him on, it says
what's he
he's
projected in at 20 something?
29.
Yeah, like
Oh
that.
no, wait, 28.
Yeah, 28. Like I think he should go way higher than that.
he's a 6'5" guard who like has good 3-and-D
Who are you
space
talking
rates.
about?
Jacoby Walter.
Jacoby Walter. Yeah.
He got 3-and-D game. He spaces the floor out. He attacks the rim when from closeouts very fast. People like that. He's also willing to guard the best player on the team. So he also has good playmaking skills off the ball.
He was
so he's
ranked
more
a
like
lot,
a plug and play
He was
guy.
ranked a lot higher going into the year. He just had a bad college season, so he definitely has the potential. He just had a bad year in college, so he could definitely be one of those like Cam Whitmore guys that like just fell in the draft. And
Yeah, they're saying if whoever gets him who's like in a contending mode can use his like skill set and like as a 3-and-D guy, shoot wide open threes, stuff like that, guarding, close like.
Surprised no one said this guy, Jared McCain. He's
Oh, the TikToker. He
yeah.
paints his nails.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's not like a projected lottery pick or anything, but you know, people are a lot of
Wait,
people
I mean,
like him.
Wasn't
He is.
supposed
He's
to
on
be a
this.
lottery pick before.
He's a ninth in this.
Oh,
He
okay.
dropped
mock.
since then, so this is like not updated. I don't think,
Oh no, maybe not.
but yeah, I think.
Yeah, he was higher before the tournament or something. I think a lottery pick before the tournament.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, but didn't Duke lose like pretty early?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why he
Ah, okay,
dropped.
that's
so,
why he dropped.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the tournament determines a lot of people's stock, and like that could be because a lot of the tournament is about team, like the program, as opposed to the player. So
I
that's
remember
why feel
Kemba's
like,
stock went way up.
Yeah.
Kemba.
Nah, he was going crazy.
Yeah.
This dude Reed Shepard.
He's a good one too.
He damn near got the. If I'm reading this, it sounds like he like T.J. McConnell.
Shit.
What is that?
It says
What-
catch and shoot,
Sniper.
catch and shoot threat, feel for the game.
Well, McConnell's
got
already
that,
catch and shoot threat,
got
but-
that dog in him. Off ball defense.
McConnell with a strap. Basically.
Said he might be small, but he makes a massive defensive impact with incredible.
No, he's
instincts and quick
McConnell with a
hands.
strap.
That's
Jose
what I'm saying.
Alvarado?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Reed Shepard, he's a
Jose
Kentucky.
Alvarado?
Nah, he's better than Jose Alvarado.
No,
Well, not better. He's
McConnell
not
with a
better,
strap,
but-
bro.
Yeah.
Jose
you can
can-
shoot-
Grayson
Jose-
Allen.
Jose
If
can
Grayson
shoot a
Allen.
guy. Huh?
Because Jose can't really shoot. Like he has.
He can make a three.
Grayson
He has
Allen.
those
Better than
games.
McConnell,
Who is
should
it
be.
compared
That's why I
to?
said his name.
Derek White.
It should be obvious.
That's what I'm
It
saying. I'm
says
saying
up here,
McConnell
yeah.
with a 3. Yeah, it says shades of Derek White.
Yeah, I see like Grayson Allen too.
No, McConnell
I mean,
with
that's a
Jose
little
Alvarado.
racist, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. That's what I thought too.
All right, the last one, the most overhyped. I'm gonna go with this one. I think
I have a hot take on
it's
this
it's hard. No, maybe I do too.
I have a hot take.
Maybe it's hard to pick one because in this draft nobody's hyped. Like I feel like everyone knows this draft is mid, so it's just hard to pick someone who's overhyped because nobody's hyped. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna go with Alex Sarr, just because he's the number 1 overall pick. Like he's the most hyped dude.
That's
Like,
fair.
and I would say there are concerns with his game. Like he's not a good shooter, and I mean for a big man, that's not the end all be all. But he just can't shoot. Not even from like mid range either. Like so, like he just doesn't have like
Are
an
you
outside
serious?
game. Yeah.
Damn.
Let's go Bear.
I mean, you could look. I think.
I thought he's
you might
athletic
say.
though. I thought he has a handle, doesn't he?
No, he is athletic, and he's like a big.
He only
he's a-
averaged 9 points.
Yeah, I mean international. They
But the
don't.
D.
Yeah.
Dude, Victor
What?
averaged like 13 or something like that. 13,
What's up with
14,
you, man?
Yeah.
didn't he?
They say I got good D.
And the
Yeah, once a
No,
pod.
listen, not even gonna listen to this
Once
guy.
a pod, bro.
Not even gonna listen to this guy, man.
For the click.
it's hard. It's difficult to say because he has a lot of things to like about him. The defense is there, good rim roller, good lob threat, good rebounder. But the one thing I will say is that he doesn't like off the pick and roll. He's like really one dimensional. Like he's gonna go score. Like he doesn't make Yet again, he could develop this, but he doesn't like pass well out of the pick and roll.
Oh man.
But again, you're asking me overhyped. This draft, nobody's hyped, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to say the number 1 pick.
I feel like it'd be
is the only
perfect
one I
with
get
him
hyped.
and,
It says-
Trey Young, especially as a big with the pick
Oh,
and
yeah,
roll
for
he
sure.
has, because he's obviously elite. at
I'm
pick
saying
and roll.
overhyped. Like as a number 1 overall pick, you don't want a pick and roll big. You want
Yeah,
like
you
a
want a
star
star.
franchise player.
You have to
That's
set a
so-
bar, and if this guy's the
Yeah.
bar, bro, it's like, bro.
I mean,
like,
he could be really, really good. I'm saying, but like I also see scenario where he's like not a franchise player.
bro, are these guys,
This
are any
thing-
of these guys gonna be all stars ever?
One of
Yes.
them will. One of them will for sure.
This thing says he shoots a lot of jumpers, but he doesn't make many. Of them.
Yeah, he doesn't, he's
Like-
not a good shooter.
At least he got that dog in him though.
What did he shoot from 3?
Never
Like
seen
not
a shot
good.
you don't like, am I right?
29.
29.5%.
Yeah,
Like,
29.5.
29.5%.
And 61 from the line. It says he doesn't have much touch away from the basket.
yeah, but there's. I mean,
That's
Those are his mind. There's some of his minuses.
no, yeah, that's
Let's
what
go
I'm
Bear.
saying. No, he's not. He's not.
Says athletic. His plus is he's an athletic finisher.
He has a post bag. It's just he doesn't shoot. Like
How good is his post bag?
He has
who
a
can you
post
compare
bag.
to?
better than Gobert already.
Okay,
he
but
has a
worse
post
than
bag.
who?
He said he can
Like, worse
fluidly
than-
handle
Worse
the
than
ball.
Embiid.
What'd you say, Omari?
It says he can fluidly handle the ball.
Yeah.
He's a skilled passer who can make wild deliveries off the dribble. So he has his upsides. If he can like,
He's a good passer, but he just doesn't like. He doesn't like. It's like
Like
Anthony
Reeves?
Davis. Like he can make the passes, but he's not always like. He doesn't have the IQ to like. Oh, I'm gonna.
He's not a- he's not
He
a
doesn't
point
make
center.
reads.
he's not a point center in the like. Jokic
Yeah,
or something.
basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like yo,
But again,
Yes, baby.
I'm just nitpicking because you asked me overhyped. Nobody gives a fuck about this draft, so I have to pick the dude that's
All of them.
projected
I
number
do.
one.
All of them
I
overhyped.
care
all
about
of them.
Bronald James. the one
LeBron
that-
James
Yeah,
Jr.
Ronald.
You're a hater.
That's
I feel
the
like,
easiest pick though.
yeah,
That's
Lakers
why
gotta
Bro-
draft
Bro-
Porto.
Because of his hype,
Bro.
he'll be drafted in the first round, and I think he
First
can.
round.
I don't
No,
think he will.
if
End
he
of
gets
the
drafted
first.
in the first round, he's easily the biggest bust. Like
Easily off.
Really?
if
Bruh.
he first round,
I've
he's
seen
not should be a
first round
first
guys
round.
that you can develop in the G League. And
Not
make 'em play
Bronny,
well.
bro.
I'm not drafting a first round.
4 point per game college
I'm not
player.
using a first round
There's been a
pick on a
bunch of players
two-way
that
player,
average
bro.
5.
I'm not wasting a
Kulal
first.
will be whatever.
Koulibaly?
Koulibaly averaged like 8 points.
Yeah, the points thing.
double
don't-
him.
No, the
On the
points.
Wizards.
Double
The
him.
points
Get no
thing-
help.
No,
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 I'm
he's
talking
talking about
about-
in college. The
Yeah,
points thing
in,
is like an
France.
overblown.
Oh yeah.
The points thing is an overblown thing. They said that there's a lot of scouts who will look more into the context of Bronny's season. You know what I mean when it comes to evaluating him. Like obviously, with the-
overhyped. He's
obviously
LeBron
with the
James'
health,
son.
obviously with the health, obviously
got
with
the
the
man.
way the team worked. Like, you know, you lose a lot of training, you lose a lot of your touch, and it's like it's kind of hard to be on a basketball court if something like that happens to you. You know what I mean? Like you.
Yeah,
If
salute.
it's a mental thing.
Salute for
like,
just getting
yeah,
back
yeah.
out there, honestly.
It's a mental thing. Like imagine if you were playing one day and you just had a heart attack. Like you would be scared to go out there and start playing again.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
in your mind it's
You
like
play
what happens again.
defense too
Mental-
hard one play.
you
Like,
know what
oh
I mean?
shit,
Like,
am I
you're like, what
about
if
to
it happens
die?
again? So
Exactly.
it's just like
I was about to say some wild
I
shit.
commend him for like getting back out there and playing, but I feel like obviously that hindered his season a lot. And him coming out the draft, like I get that he wants to get to the league, and I think that he's good enough to be on like a two-way or
Yeah,
even
for
like
two-way for
on a-
sure. Yeah.
on the end of a bench. You know what I mean? If you're getting developed, okay, cool. But it's just like
If Scotty like
Other
him and
people-
Scotty Pippen Jr. could be,
Yeah.
if he like Scotty Pippen Jr. played well for the Memphis, I think he could do similar things.
He's
And
like
if-
there's-
he's like worse Max
there's-
Christie. Like he's
but there's
worse
been-
Max
there's
Christie.
been
no,
people-
not even close.
there's
Max
been people
Christie's
who've
better
been
than him.
drafted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's worse Max Christie.
No, but like Max Christie has potential to be developed in like a 3-and-D wing. Like Bronny James, like I'm gonna be a gritty point guard, and like
Good
hopefully he
defender.
learns to shoot.
Davion
Well,
Mitchell, Drew Holiday-esque.
Just like the size
Yeah.
is limiting too.
Yeah,
like,
it is. But
It's like worse people. Well,
Not
my
developed,
point is,
though.
it's just like
Yeah,
people have had
true.
like similar point per games. You know, people who have had low point per games and still been drafted and not had those circumstances before their season.
yeah,
You get me?
undrafted
The thing
guys
with-
are
like-
good. I mean, but
The thing
like
with
look at Jose Alvarado. He's an
yeah,
okay role player.
I mean, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing with Bronny though. I feel like if we just if we didn't look at his dad and what he is like, and we took him as just him as a prospect and just appreciate him, like yeah, he's a second round pick that could be a gritty point guard off your
Maybe
bench,
undrafted probably.
and just yeah, and maybe even
I think for
undrafted.
sure he's undrafted.
But like, if we just took him at that, we can appreciate him. But people are putting him in these conversations like, should he be a lottery pick? No, he's not that good. The only reason he's getting this type of buzz is because of his dad.
That's why he's
And I
overhyped.
feel like that's what. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like it's not because of him. You know what I mean? He's not. It's not because of him as a player. Like if we just let him be him, nobody would be saying this about him as
Yeah,
his skill set.
100%.
And that's why I don't like that we're putting all this pressure on him for no reason. It's
Yeah.
not like he told him like I'm the guy. You know, and he never said that.
Life
Plus,
ain't fair.
all he's done for the most part, all he's
Sucks.
done for the most part, at least for the combine and stuff, is impress. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you got to give him a little bit of flowers of like.
he definitely upped his stock.
People were like, oh, like he was trash at USC. Look at his points per game. But he goes and he's like one of the best people at the combine. Obviously, not every top draft prospect is at that combine, but like,
I mean,
if you
definitely
can
improved
be
his stock.
if you can be one of the 5 best players at the combine, you deserve to be drafted. You get me? Like,
At least, yeah.
Yeah. What,
Says to be a
four or
ninja,
so?
you're not qualified.
that's it.
This is the one I saw
I
on
saw-
Twitter.
I
This is
saw-
the Braun to Bronny.
I saw the interview.
He's taking his son's.
the
Nigga was
fu-
cheating. That's
the-
like if Bronny was on PEDs or something.
Yeah,
That's what Braun have to do.
You are no ninja.
There was a funny interview with him, and they were asking him, "Would you ever name your son LeBron James the 3rd?" He said, "Absolutely not." I
that's
respect
crazy.
it. I
Saw
mean, that was-
Absolutely not. Let
Steph
me
Curry's
know.
his favorite player too. I saw something like that. Good on him.
Sasuke.
all
No,
right.
he didn't say Steph Curry. He said when's the
Oh,
last time you were
starstruck,
starstruck?
yeah.
Yeah. I think his favorite player is Westbrook.
They also
Somebody
Boruto
said,
meeting
what do
Sasuke.
you want him to
That's
say?
exactly why I'm saying it.
Someone said, what do you want him to say when he woke up in the morning and saw LeBron
Yeah,
cooking eggs?
Yeah.
What else you want to
Oh
say?
my
LeBron,
God,
yeah.
Dad!
He
Like,
saw him in the
alright.
kitchen. He was starstruck.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That reminds me of the time where LaMelo Ball was getting drafted, and they asked him, "So what do you call your dad? LeVar? VAR?" He's like, pops. Like,
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball.
all right, let's get into these. Who will have the better career? Call it now. All right, I put together 5 of these. Current players, former players, so
right.
it's a little bit of a blend of both. Let's get into it.
Sick intro, not gonna lie.
The person we were just talking about, up and coming, hot name, potential face of the league, Anthony Edwards, okay, as a first name.
Ooh.
Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Carmelo Anthony. When it's all said and done, who will have the best career out of those 3? And we got to respect Carmelo. He's a top 20 all-time
Anthony
scorer.
Edwards. I'm saying right now, Anthony
SGA.
Edwards.
I'd say SGA will have the best career because Carmelo, he hasn't had any like playoff success like that besides getting to the conference finals.
He's like a 10-time All-Star. Like that's why I put him there.
Yeah.
The
I think Anthony Edwards could get to that accolade, longevity accolades because
He
of his
started
age.
so much earlier, yeah.
Yeah, SGA started a little bit later because of the trades and then OKC being bad.
He was also, I don't think he was like 18 coming into the league. He might have been like 19, 20. If maybe
How old
I'm
is he
wrong.
now? I know he's older than Luka.
26,
He's
25?
26 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Luka's like 25, so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
accolades wise, he might not reach Melo, but
He has a game that'll age well though, so we'll see.
So I'll go Anthony Edwards because he's already reached the
Yeah.
eclipse of what Carmelo did playoff wise.
He got an All-NBA this year too.
That too, and I think it'll continue. And plus, he's pretty young, like we said, 22, so he'll get the accolades from longevity.
It's
So I think
definitely a
Anthony
lot of
Edwards will have a better
projection, but
career.
yeah.
I think he's gonna hold the top shooting guard spot for a few years for sure. But top 2, top 3 type shit.
Mhm.
So I'd have to give to Anthony Edwards too. I mean, I think he's gonna. Well, hopefully, if projections happen accordingly,
let's
he's gonna
see
have a lot of good playoff runs. He's gonna be a top scorer. He's gonna be a top shooting guard. So, with all that coming in together, I think when it's all said and done, Anthony Edwards will have the best career out of those 3 players.
I'm gonna go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think him making All-NBA first team is a huge step this year. I mean, they were the number 1 seed. I think them as a team as well, because I think the Thunder will win a championship in the next decade, just because they're set up so beautifully to do that, whether it's through the drafting more players, or because of trading those picks for a better player. I think that will help cement his legacy over somebody like Carmelo Anthony. Anthony Edwards, I know he has a chance this year, and maybe he will win one. I'm not saying he can't, but I just feel like I said Shai's game will age better because he doesn't rely on athleticism or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not saying that Anthony Edwards can't evolve his game or like, not
Yeah,
that
but
he won't be
Edwards
good.
just
but-
has a bigger window now than SGA.
yeah, because he's younger. But
Yeah.
I do like SGA a lot, and I think for what he's done now, I can see him getting to higher heights sooner, in my opinion.
Ant's been taking big steps every single year though, so that's why I want to give him his flowers.
So
And he
SGA
keeps
took, like,
improving.
insane
let's-
steps.
And keeps working on his game,
before we ignore Melo, so this
Yeah,
is his
this is
accolades,
crazy.
okay?
Not
10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA. Let's see, he averaged 23 points for his career, 6 rebounds, 3 assists.
That's beatable.
I mean,
by
that's
everybody.
also. I mean, his career stats are skewed because he had all those like
The mid years,
weak-ass
I mean,
Not
his
even the
lowest,
mid-years, like the end of his career. He
the
had,
lowest
like,
points per game was
Everybody
13
goes through
points.
it.
Yeah, but he had like.
and that was when he was a
had,
backup
like-
role player, right?
Everybody goes.
He's
Like
never
his
averaged less than
Blazers-
13 points per game.
I know, but still, but his Blazers, Lakers.
True, but I'm saying they
Rockets-
didn't drag him down completely, like
Yeah,
I know, but still,
everybody goes
like,
through that too. Like it's just not him.
Not everybody.
except LeBron.
Usually.
Like, okay,
Well,
Didn't
LeBron's one of one.
Kobe
Yeah.
averaged 25?
But
all
I'm
time?
saying if you're gonna talk about
On-
Carmelo
I mean,
Anthony
yeah.
in his
Kobe
career,
averaged 25 flat.
on like
Do you
fucking
put him in the
30%
same category
shooting.
as Kobe Bryant?
Huh?
Do you put him at the same category?
that
Well,
too.
I'm just saying stat for stat, brothers. Like,
That's
But
right.
career-
also,
You gotta
Kobe
put
was
him in,
averaging
like, same
25 on
price
like awful efficiency. Like he was like just
This-
getting them bitches.
Kobe's
off.
is
It's Kobe
career
Bryant, so he's gonna be
25.
able to shoot the shot.
No, I agree.
Kobe's
with that.
his
I agree.
career 25.
but I'm saying
Carmelo got
if we're gonna
cut
talk
from
about
the
Melo's
freaking
career,
Rockets. You think
If we're
Kobe's
gonna
gonna
talk
cut from the
about-
Rockets after 10 games?
Or 26.
if we're gonna talk about Melo and like what he's done, and if somebody would do better, like what's the point in bringing up his old person years? You
Well,
know
he
what I
played
mean? Like,
19 years in
compare-
the league. Like
yeah,
you
no,
think
longevity.
Ant and Shea playing 19 years? That's
That's a good
gonna be
question.
tough.
That's
I
a
would-
good question.
I'm just
that
saying-
is going to be tough.
Probably Ant, yeah.
I'm saying you should at least compare like his peaks. You know
Stretches
what I mean?
of like peak.
his best. Yeah, his best years. Because it's like
Then-
what does it do? What good does it do to look at what he did on the Rockets and?
So you're
and
saying the
Lakers
first
and
15
Blazers?
years. The
Yeah,
first 15
like
years.
his Knicks, his Denver.
Yeah, that's how I
years,
look
you
at
know
him
what I mean?
too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I still
like-
think Anthony Edwards would be better.
I mean,
So
I agree.
if you're
I'm just
picking
saying,
like 13 or 14 years of
when it comes
Edwards,
to,
I
like,
mean, SGA
that-
already averaged more than Carmelo's peak.
Best
We're
se-
talking
but that
about
23 is still just
longevity-wise.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I still agree with Anthony Edwards would have a better career, but I'm saying like when we just talk about Melo averaging 23 for his career, it's just like
dude, Melo's
that
game
makes
is
him
beautiful
sound
too.
worse
By the
than
way,
Okay,
he was.
I get
you know what I
you're
mean?
right.
At his peak.
Melo's
Yeah.
game is beautiful too. We can't take that
Like,
away.
But I'm just putting that in
Man.
perspective. Like, let's say Anthony Edwards, he's not gonna average 27 for his whole career either. Like, there's gonna be a point where he might average 18, 20 at the end of his career, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
yeah. Depends.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to
Yeah.
that unless
Good
he's like a
scorer.
Kobe Bryant type of guy, and we
No, I
obviously
think
some
know
people
that.
is made retire. You know what I mean?
Offense
Like,
has been pretty
but then
crazy
should-
recently too.
But what do you think that ding him? Like, let's say Carmelo Anthony played 19 seasons, but his last 4 years he was a role player, right? So would you ding someone if they played, let's say 15 seasons and retired early and weren't a role player for those last 4 years? Like, would you ding them for that?
Exactly.
No.
I
No,
get-
I'm not thinking.
No.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
would you hold the other player in higher regard?
Accountable.
Or not? Like,
No.
would
I'd
those
hold him in the
extra
same-
stats?
same
I think it
regard.
doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't
You know what I
matter.
mean? Like,
Dang, I
it's,
can't believe. Did we all not pick Melo?
Why would we?
I'm just saying, like, did we just discard him?
yeah,
It's crazy.
he's great.
I
I
mean-
mean, he's all time great. Yeah, but I'm like,
Hall of Famer. These guys gotta be Hall of Famers, bro.
You don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna?
Yeah.
Those two are gonna
They
be Hall
have
of
to be.
Famers?
If they're not, then we're
But
like,
do you
Luka.
think-
That's why I'm putting the
They
bar
will.
there, because if they don't make the Hall of Fame, Carmelo's better than them.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, we so
Well,
quickly went to
yeah.
the other guys, and
but I'm
Carmelo's
saying
a
this
Hall
is-
of
this is a
Fame player.
projection, though, but
They
this
could
is-
have 3 years and
Griffin's
stop
about to
being
make
With,
the Hall
bro.
with Anthony
It's still a
Edwards, it's
projection.
super projection because like
It's
this
what
is
I'm
the
saying,
first
like-
year he's
like-
even elite, you know.
no, I mean,
But he's
What I'm saying
22
is
in
like,
the league,
what I'm saying
so
is
you have
like,
to take that
there's a
into
I'm not
bona fide
disagreeing
Hall of
with you.
Famer. You guys get what I'm saying? A
I'm
bona
saying-
fide
I'm
Hall of
saying
Famer.
anything could
Yeah.
happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Dudes, he could start. He could get a sponsorship with
D-Rose.
fucking Raising Cane's and get fat. You know, I don't
Hey,
know.
but that's what I'm trying to say. I'm
But
like, we're
it's
so
a-
quick to go on SGA and Edwards.
it's a
Like, not,
prediction. It's
Yeah.
more-
Exactly, of
in
course.
our mind more often.
There's no wrong answer. I'm
there's
just
no
saying.
wrong answer.
More often than
You
not.
gotta consider it though. Is all I'm saying.
That- I'm saying- that's
More
what I'm saying, like,
more
we're so
often than not,
quick.
Anthony Edwards will probably have a better career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously anything can happen,
Yeah,
Let's see.
but in my opinion, the odds of him having a better career than Milo, because 10-time
we gotta clip
All-Star
all
is
of
great.
these and like look back.
Six
at it.
time All-NBA.
10-time All-Star is great. 6-time. Yeah, I definitely think Anthony Edwards will have 6 All-NBA.
I hope so,
at
but
the end of his
damn.
career.
Six
You
All
think
NBA is
Kyrie's
gonna be tough.
You think
but
Kyrie's
the
better
All-Stars
than
he could
Carmelo
definitely do.
career wise when it's
Yeah.
all said and done?
Who?
Yes.
Kyrie Irving,
Yes.
About who?
Carmelo. Yeah, he have a better
A better
career.
career. Yeah.
Yeah.
He already
Speaking
does.
of Kyrie,
Oh, yeah.
let's go to the next one.
It's a chip.
Are we taking? So these are 3 players that have pretty much. Well, we'll see how we feel about them. So number 1, Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, and Paul Pierce, who will have the better career when it's all said and done.
Kyrie
Kyrie.
Irving.
I think Kyrie Irving clears.
In
my
how many
opinion.
All Stars does Jaylen Brown have?
Well,
No, here, let me. So here, the reason I put Jaylen
I-
Brown, if he
we-
wins a championship this year, he will be in a similar position to Kyrie, where he won a championship as a number 2 option.
correct.
And I also say this because the way we've seen so far in the playoffs, just like Kyrie did for LeBron, Jaylen Brown's doing all the shit for Jason
Hey.
Tatum, hitting these late game shots.
Speaking
You know,
of facts.
There's
being a
levels
guy-
to this though.
But he's speaking
Listen,
base
listen,
facts.
I'm
base
just
facts.
saying, and we projecting for Jaylen Brown too. His career's nowhere close to being done.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
a 2-time All NBA and a 2-time All
I see
Star,
your
if I'm not
argument, yeah.
mistaken. So I said that because again, this year they're like damn near. If they're not winning a championship, they're gonna go to 7 games. You know what I mean? So they're right there. That's why I ask, because it could realistically happen if he can get on that level. You know, especially if he has a huge impact more than a guy like Tatum. I think we can look at him a little differently. And obviously, Kyrie got the bag work. He's one of the all-time greats in terms of bad guys, but in terms of like an NBA career. Can Jaylen Brown surpass him? He's gonna be on a great team for years to come too. Like you got to take that into account.
Kyrie got hoed from a lot of stuff though. Truthfully,
Yeah.
So
And we know the context regarding it. So
And no
it's-
Paul Pierce respect. You won a championship.
That's what
No,
I was
no,
gonna
that's
say.
what I was
That's
about to-
what
I was going to go back to Paul. I was going
Yeah,
to
me too.
return to Paul.
what I gotta say about Paul
'Cause-
Pierce, bro?
I think it's close. I mean,
you
what
hate
am I going
now,
to say?
no.
Why hating on him?
Yeah, let's see. We're
He's
gonna-
only
I
been
mean,
bad
he's-
off the court.
No, he's a definitely.
Nah, he
he's
hasn't
a
been bad.
multi.
Nah, he's a legend. He was out
Yeah,
there
no,
with
he
the
definitely
strippers.
is a
At
legend.
the hush. He was at the
Strippers
hush.
Bro, he was
Going
just
crazy.
stomping on Jalen Brunson jersey for no reason.
He has a bunch
Like,
of
what the
All-Star
fuck was
appearances,
that
doesn't he?
about?
And All NBAs.
Who?
Paul Pierce.
No
Few.
shit, yeah. That's
He's
what
got a
yeah.
good few. He's got a good few.
Yeah, I'll take Paul Pierce actually. Yeah, over everybody.
It's
Paul
I think
Pierce
between
is the-
Paul and Kyrie
Pierce
is close.
the retired dude. Kyrie's like the guy on his way out, and Jalen Brown's like the up and
and
Can you
coming.
say his
Ooh, I
stats, Omari?
like this.
Do you have his basketball reference?
Who?
Yeah, I'm
Paul
on it right
Pierce.
now.
I'm guessing like 23.
Career is
19.
19.7.
Well, we
No, I
just
wanted to
said
hear the
peak. Don't
accolades.
look
But
at career. He
peak-
played
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Clippers
Go
2
for the
years.
peaks. Go for the
No,
peaks.
Peak. Okay,
Accolades.
let's say until the end of Boston.
Yeah,
He
I
I don't
played
care about the stats. I care
77.
about the accolades.
Look up
What?
Paul Pierce stats with the Celtics, just the
You're
Celtics.
not even on the right
Go to basketball.
side.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Stat
No,
news
but he's
is
gonna
good.
tell you the peak stats, like when he
No,
was
he's-
actually
yeah,
good ball.
no.
But I just want to hear his accolades.
My man's
though.
But
cooking.
you can look it up. He's
He
not
averaged
wrong.
21. So I'm
22.
going Kyrie. 22. So, but I'm still going Kyrie. I'll go
But now
Kyrie,
look at the
bro.
accolades he had on those teams. Was he
Yeah,
All Star, All NBAs, and look at Kyrie's
he has
because that
a finals,
matters.
He has a Finals MVP.
Obviously, we know that.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that. But
That's also like a thing over that Kyrie will never have.
How will never have that
know.
unless
No.
It's
no,
a
no,
good
there's
underdog
no
pick.
way.
Next one.
if
It's a good
Luka-
underdog
no.
pick.
I would look
If
at
he
this
averages
one.
35 against the Celtics,
Well, obviously, but
Okay, so Kyrie's an 8-time All-Star,
there we go.
3-time All-NBA,
Sheesh.
obviously a champ, and
That's
the
the
other stuff
important
doesn't
ones, right?
matter. Yeah.
And then
Alright,
what is
what
Paul
about
Pierce
Paul?
Omar? You got that on basketball
I only
reference?
see 10 10-time
This is
All-Star
closer
for
than
Paul
I think
Pierce.
if I had to pick.
Paul Pierce, a 10-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA compared to Kyrie's 3.
And then Finals MVP.
And
he
then,
has.
obviously the Finals
And the chip
MVP.
that he was the main.
Yeah, so Paul Pierce, because I don't think Kyrie's gonna get an All-NBA.
But do you
Or All-Star, maybe.
also it's your choice? Do
Yeah.
you appreciate
Nah,
Paul Pierce's
I-
game more? Or do you appreciate Kyrie? 'Cause
Nah, I
there's things that
appreciate
go
Paul
through
Pierce.
that.
That's important too.
I
yeah.
appreciate
I appreciate
Kyrie's
Kyrie's what? Hassan.
What do you mean? He had more like responsibility and he actually succeeded.
But it's Kyrie.
I mean, he was on the
Kyrie
team.
But
just
it's
had
Kyrie.
a flashier game.
But it's
But
Kyrie. Just
What
the
do you mean? What
flashier
point
game?
is? But it's Kyrie. What point is that?
Who's a better ball player?
I mean, Kyrie's better than a lot of players, though.
That's what I'm saying. There's
You
more
said
thought
Kyrie's
into
better
it.
than Bill Russell, but
You can't
who
just look
you
at
gonna put all time.
You just can't look at 10 All Stars to
Kyrie.
like 8 and then like 4 to 3.
You can't like. I think
I-
Paul
me-
Pierce had more.
I'm picking Kyrie,
expectation.
bro.
Me
I'm
personally,
choosing
I'm
Paul
picking
Pierce.
Kyrie.
I don't think Kyrie's gonna have another All-NBA season.
He,
or
I
an
get
All-Star
that. I
season.
get they had a Finals MVP too, but like he was also, like you see his team.
Kyrie,
super
Kyrie played well too.
team.
Kyrie had
A
LeBron
super
James
team.
at peak.
He saved Braun. You not forget the shot?
I'm not
Yeah.
going. I'm not going that far. He didn't say Braun, but
But
Yeah,
he had a
he
he
did
Did
his
he not
job.
make a side step 3 over
It's
Steph
his
Curry?
job.
a huge shot.
He
but
did what
it's
he was
safe.
supposed
Of
to
course,
Yeah.
of course. I'm
LeBron,
saying in the
Kyrie has
scope of
had
it.
championship level teams. They both had championship level
Alright, yeah.
teams. So
I'm gonna go Paul Pierce here too. I think being a number 1 option, especially in that era where like it was way more packed in the paint and shit like that. I don't know. I was not saying I don't. Obviously, what Kyrie did was awesome. I think Paul Pierce gets a lot of hate because of what he does off the court and his personality. But as a player, like he was that dude. He's the only guy that went toe to toe with Kobe like that.
yeah,
So, you got to give him the
yeah,
respect.
but I agree. But it was like a shorter stint of him being like a top dog than I think. Well, I guess
10
Kyrie's
times?
not
10
necessarily.
times? That's a
what?
lot.
He was a
decade of
Celtics
being-
franchise
10 times what?
player. They
10
recruited
times All-Star.
KG to play with him.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Facts.
man.
But that's like longevity.
Yeah, but all stars or whatever. I'm talking about like when he's putting up like you can, people get all stars with whatever stats being on the best team. You get me? Like, so to have his best scoring peak, like his best scoring peak was 05, 06. He was averaging 27. But like his chip
Wow.
year,
Different
07.
era, too.
That's a
But
lot.
yeah,
Less
yeah.
pace,
But
less
his
touches.
chip year, like the year that we're looking at, I know this is regular season, but the chip year he averaged 19 points. You know what I mean? Like,
What about the playoffs? He won Finals MVP.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he
you
did
have to
good, but
compare like Kyrie to. His
They also
counterparts
traded
in
for KG
era,
that year,
too.
so they were like probably trying to figure it out during
his
Yeah.
playoff
Compare
career
both players in
is
their eras,
18.7.
Paul Pierce has bigger.
No, like
impact.
check like the
Because
the
he
one
wasn't
won.
making the playoffs. 'cause
Check
He wasn't
with
making
the
playoffs with
Celtics.
these niggas.
Yeah, with the Celtics, the
No,
one
he
that he
did.
won.
He hit a game winner for the
Oh,
the
the
Wizards. He
Celtics.
said,
For the
"Call
Wizards?
bank.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
call
Call
game."
game.
I remember that.
Okay,
That's a
let's
good
see.
one.
Paul Pierce playoff stats.
Just with the Celtics.
Just with
though.
this, yeah. Just that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying.
going Paul Pierce.
Yeah,
I think it's
feel
close.
comfortable going.
I think
It
it's
is
close.
close.
I would choose Kyrie because I appreciate what Kyrie did more for his team than I granted. I guarantee the Finals MVP run. I get that.
He averaged
I just think-
20.9.
How much?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, okay.
That's good.
But yeah, like I said, Kyrie's coming out here averaging like 27 and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Kyrie's putting
so
up
it's
shit
still
against
like
the Warriors.
Eras, man.
Kyrie's putting up like 40s against the Warriors.
Yeah,
Two different
so
eras.
it's,
But
I
against
guess
the
it's two different
Warriors,
eras, but
He's
it's not like
playing
nobody
against
else.
the freaking
But it's not like
Lakers.
nobody else was capable of averaging 25 plus. Like there were still people averaging 25 plus.
Yeah.
Right, but
You know what I mean? And Paul Pierce was one of
This
them.
is a good comp. I like this player.
I
comps.
think Paul Pierce partly he won that because he did play really good defense on Kobe that year. Granted, you know, but
Better defender too.
yeah, I do think he is a better defender. But
Okay.
I think Kyrie's offense is like
otherworldly, in my opinion.
The
he's
truth.
an offensive great. Like at the end of the day,
He's an offensive god.
the
People don't
truth
call-
versus the
people
lies.
People don't call
The
Paul
lies.
Pierce an
Yeah,
offensive
he
god.
averages 30 though. Like, what was Kyrie's highest point per game season?
probably
26,
27?
Yeah.
26 or
probably
27.
similar.
the
like,
chip year he won the Finals MVP averaging 19.7.
But the
like,
funny thing is, we're also the fact that this is even close, and Paul Pierce is a number one, and Kyrie's never been a number one too.
That's not
Paul
true.
Pierce-
Like, think
He was
about
number
that.
one on the
It's-
He
Celtics.
has been a
No.
successful number one.
Think of
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
Th-
But
correct.
it's like, are you really the number one? It's,
27.4 is his highest. I
Last
think.
year,
What,
right?
what was Paul Pierce highest?
27.
No, not in Brooklyn. He averaged 27 twice. Those were
Brooklyn,
his highest.
Minnesota.
on the playoffs? Are you talking about his playoffs?
No,
stats?
just in
No,
general.
just
This
regular
is year?
season. What
It
is
was 05, 06. He averaged
We're
26
comparing your
points.
Batman
Okay,
to a
so yeah,
Robin.
similar.
What are we doing?
27 to
And it's
26.
close.
Exactly.
And it's close.
Okay, he's a good Robin.
He's
not-
like a great Robin.
Yeah.
Nah, but
That's
it's
why we
like
give Klay Thompson. He's better.
Let's see.
Klay Thompson's better
Every
than other
Batman
players
needs a
because he has
Robin,
4
bro.
rings.
Actually, bro, no, not even. Hold on. Last year he averaged the most, which was 27.1. Those years he averaged 27.4 with the Brooklyn Nets. He played like 20 games. So last year, yes, it was the most. It was half Brooklyn, half Dallas, and it was 27 flat.
Paul Pierce doesn't miss that many games either.
Yeah, I just
That
I just
era,
he played
they-
like
they
68
didn't,
games
yeah.
every
Yeah.
year, pretty much.
So-
But
You gotta take that into account too.
all right, let's move on to the next
I
one.
like
That
this
was a good one.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
This one, the point guard one. This is gonna be interesting. We got some of the two of the best playmakers in of all time, and then a different type of point guard. Okay, Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Paul, and Damian Lillard. Who will be the best of all time when it's said and done? Now I know Dame kind of went. Well, I don't want
can
to
tell
say
you the worst.
He played good in the playoffs though, but he's on a good team with a good chance to win a championship, and like he's done everything else before then. So if he has a chance to do that, and that could cement his legacy, where Halliburton and Chris Paul haven't done that.
I can tell you the worst.
I hate to say it.
I think the worst is Halliburton, and Chris Paul and Damian are like in my 2 picks, but I can't decide.
No, I think Chris Paul is the best accolade wise.
Yeah.
You can argue that Chris Paul is the top 5 point guard of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
so-
go
Yeah,
Chris
I'm
Paul,
going
too.
Chris Paul.
Again, Tyrese Halliburton, a lot of projection. He in the conference finals,
Yeah.
super hot. That's why I put him in
Because
here.
Chris Paul has literally everything besides the championship ring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But a Tyrese, he got the playmaking. Like he get
Let's
comparisons
see.
to him because
You
of
think
the
he'll
playmaking.
he'll get the same amount of assists that Chris Paul has career wise?
I think he can. The assist numbers, yes.
he's like number 3 or something like that.
He averaged like 12 assists a game last year.
Okay, but he has to keep that longevity and be consistent. What if he?
I think he can.
Well, but
tears
Lillard
ACL,
was such
out
a
for a while.
dog for years.
That
bro,
is true,
for
yeah.
Yeah,
He
years.
grew a beard.
let's respect
30
Lillard.
point per game
Because
demon, bro.
Lillard's only thing is that I feel like the ring will cement it
He's
because
been in playoffs.
offensively he's a better offensive player than Chris Paul and Halliburton.
by far. Like in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Not the playmaking,
We're
but
just
just
thinking
scoring.
about point. Yes. Okay, scoring.
By
Say
far, it's not
scoring.
even close.
Say scoring. Not offensive.
He clears offensive
Scoring,
like, ability.
no,
Scoring and
scoring.
clears, but
Scoring.
Yes, that's
the
what
way
I'm saying.
that controlling of the game, like the pace that Chris Paul had, is I think he's a better
True.
offensive.
You are
player
correct.
than
You are
Damian
correct.
Lillard isn't an ass playmaker either. Like
He's
an
not,
ass.
but I'm just saying that
Yeah,
everything
like,
that
all
takes
time-
into running a whole offense, Chris
True,
Paul.
I agree. Yeah, Chris Paul's obviously he clears him in playmaking, but Damian Lillard clears in scoring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, like if you ask people if you put a top point guard list of all time,
Chris.
people are always gonna have Chris Paul over Dame. Even
Which is
though,
true.
yeah, and even though Dame does have like insane stats, you know what I mean?
Crazy moments too.
Crazy,
Let's not
yeah,
forget.
crazy
He's
moment, yeah,
an
crazy
ultra
playoff
clutch.
moments, crazy
Ultra
moments.
clutch.
At the end of the day, him not running from the grind is counting against him.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Actually,
like, right.
fuck that. I'm gonna go Damian Lillard. I think he will win a championship with the Bucks,
I
and I
don't.
feel like that then it'll definitely be a viable conversation. I'm gonna go different here because I know Chris Paul right now he's cemented. He's damn near about to retire. Like he's not gonna add to his.
Dude's on
legacy
ESPN.
anymore. Yeah. So
Well, if Dame
I'm
wins a
just gonna
chip,
go
yeah.
I'm gonna go with the different answer this time.
I'm
gonna
going
Damian
Lillard too. Yeah, fuck yeah, best
I
time.
know you guys don't believe it too, because
No,
If-
no,
yeah,
but,
if-
no,
if
there's
he
an
does
argument.
win
There's
a
for
chip-
sure
I'm
argument.
not saying. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
he definitely has a
if
chance.
you're saying if he wins the ring and there's an argument because of it, that means like Chris Paul already is way
Yeah,
better.
he's
than
already
him.
ahead.
Well,
the reason
even-
why we're saying this because Chris Paul's assist numbers as a whole are
It's
insane.
not that though.
Are-
It's accolades in
Of
total.
course, of
All
course.
NBAs.
But we're
Well,
not
hold
acting like Lillard's not an All
Let's
NBA,
pull
All
out
Star caliber
defense.
player.
Let's pull out the
Defense
stats.
too.
Let's calculate precisely the All NBA. You guys can continue. I'm just gonna look at the accolades.
Yeah, Chris
and how
Paul does
close
have
they are.
defensive accolades.
He
too.
does. He has
Yeah.
defensive accolades.
Steals champion too. Most like second most steals or something like that. There's a lot that he
All right,
has.
Chris Paul is a 12-time All Star, 5-time assist. I don't know if I mean you can't use that for Damian Lillard. Like
I mean, that's an accolade.
12-time All,
accolade.
but then we could use Damian Lillard scoring against.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Paul.
yeah,
which
but
is
he's never been a
overwhelming.
scoring champ. I don't think he's ever been.
Okay,
a
but
scoring
scoring, bro.
Right.
People averaged 34 when he played.
12-time
35.
12-time All Star, 11-time All NBA for Chris Paul. But he's not gonna get more, obviously. And then let's look at Damian Lillard because he can get more.
You're good.
He is
What about
an
defensive?
8-time All Star, 7-time All NBA.
So
What about
Paul's
Chris
defensive?
Paul has a
Clearing him right now.
9-time All Defensive.
Okay, he's not catching up.
Yeah, he's not catching up.
During that playoff here, we're recording. We can just go off this.
Do you guys, no, Omari and Hassan, I have a question for you guys since we're waiting for this. So if
We're not waiting, we
Lillard,
can just continue.
yeah,
Oh, we're recording.
oh no, we're recording. If Lillard ends up getting the ring, is that still not enough?
No, not to me.
Really?
No, because he's a number 2, like Omar said. Is Kyrie getting a ring?
But you
enough?
act okay. But let me tell you this. Let me question this. But the way Lillard plays, and there's a chance. I'm not saying it's like a 20, 30. There's a chance for him to be the best player on the team at the time. Let's say.
Okay.
Does that change your mind?
Yes, it does.
Does that
If he
then
outperforms Giannis in the playoff series, I would say yeah.
Yeah.
then he goes over Chris Paul in your opinion?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
And he
just
was
like-
Finals MVP.
You know how good you have to play to
Perform
overplay,
Giannis? Yeah.
outperform Giannis. You know what
So we're
I
not
mean?
acting like Lillard could break
I
it
think
out
it's-
like the
it's
Nuggets.
definitely
series?
possible.
It
for him
is.
to
I think it
outplay
is.
Giannis. It's not like
Yeah,
if he
yeah.
won
I
Finals
just don't
MVP,
think he'll win a
no one would
championship.
Yeah,
though.
like if he had an insane series, average 35, like or like even like
He could average
30 to
35. He
32.
could.
Yeah, he could. I believe in him.
Remember the
I
Nuggets?
believe he could.
Shot after shot.
But he
Just-
has to.
Not
Like if
that-
he
not
did
that
that, then I'd be
anymore,
like,
though.
okay,
That
like,
was
that's
insane. I don't think he
legendary.
can do
You
that again.
won you guys the chip. You know, then
Yeah.
you get more credit than
Okay.
He definitely
Giannis
deserves to be
averaging
a
35
top
and then you're
75 player
averaging
in
like
the NBA.
25. you
That's
know?
good. As long as we're arguing, that means it's a debate, right?
Yeah, it's
we
a
should
good
have a top
debate.
point guard ranking. We haven't done that in a while.
I have
got
another
it.
point
So
guard one for the next
off-season
one.
content.
Off-season
Oh, yeah,
content. Hell
yeah,
yeah. Hell yeah.
definitely. Okay, the next one is also some more point guards. A little different level though. So we got John Morant, Russell Westbrook, and Allen Iverson.
Oh, Westbrook.
Westbrook, yeah.
Westbrook. I think it's easy.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think the
I don't
triple-double thing, like triple-double, MVP.
MVP. Yeah, he
I
has
think
MVP.
AI's MVP and finals appearance is skewed where people see that. I think what Westbrook did for like his period of time
No
is
love
better
for John
than
Morant. Like
Oh no, I don't think he'll win an MVP.
Not in that level because those
Really?
guys won
Nah.
MVPs.
Or average a triple
Triple-double?
I don't see.
I don't.
Jonathan either of those.
Honestly, the triple double thing, like, I don't think like
That
4
first
years,
year-
3 years in a row.
Listen, hold on. Time out. I'm not. It's impressive, but like just because John Morant doesn't have a triple, he's never gonna get the rebounds. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, he
No.
can't pass Westbrook
The
because
30
he doesn't
that,
get 10
that
rebounds.
30-point triple-double thing is John Morant will never see a season.
But like, what did that lead to? Fucking first round exit, 6th seed. Like,
If
good
he-
job.
An MVP. They'll let you an MVP.
Okay, I'm saying, okay, if John Morant wins an MVP and he wins a championship, he's gonna be over Westbrook. I'm sorry, point
Right.
blank, period.
Do you
Yeah.
project that to
Yeah.
happen? What's your pick?
Do you think it's
Because
gonna
that's your
happen,
pick,
though?
right?
I don't. Okay, I don't know
None
if
of
that'll
these guys have a
happen,
chip.
but he will. If he does do that, he's gonna be
Oh,
over
yeah.
Westbrook, no question.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm saying, and because what as good as Westbrook is, he was never a winning player. He was like on that Carmelo, a little bit higher than Carmelo because he never won an MVP.
Yeah.
But just that player that was super super good, but he could never be the number one option on a winning team.
Yeah.
Just because of his play
I
style.
don't think John Morant could be either, but that's a
See,
conversation for another day.
okay, maybe, but I feel like Ja can win MVP finals. I don't know.
Can
So
Ja
I'm
even
with
average
you with
30?
that. But yes, What the fuck? he
think
averaged
so?
30
28.
2 years ago.
No, he averaged 28. But
He was like 28.
Yeah, 28. But like, come on, bro. It's
Yeah,
2
so
points
That was 2
away.
years ago. So
Uh,
I
But then
think
10-10, like what I'm saying.
I
like-
think John Morant can win an MVP. I really do believe that championship. I wouldn't go. I don't know about that yet because I'm still with you.
I would say a chip before
But
an MVP.
You got Luka in the
Really?
same. Luka's in the same
Damn.
like age group as him.
I feel like
He's
John
never
Morant,
gonna have a better season than. I mean,
feel
unless
like-
he's hurt.
I feel like John Morant has the it factor like Anthony Edwards. He has explosive highlights. I think for him, it's just putting it all together and off the court and on the court. I feel like if he can do that, he has all the skills, the marketability, and the talent to be
The
an
off the court
MVP.
thing it
In my
hurts his
opinion-
chances of getting.
You
the
never
I
averaged
agree, I'm
28,
just saying,
bro.
but if
You
he
averaged
can-
27,
in my opinion,
guys.
like
Anyway.
it's gonna be more
Anyway.
of a. I think he'll be stuck in a situation that like Shea is in. You know what I mean? Like he got to first seed, he averaged 30, he has
Empty
good
stats.
stats, he played defense. But you have niggas like Jokic and Luka, fucking.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like Luka's not going anywhere.
But are they going to continue to give Jokic MVPs? Like
no,
after
not
3?
Jokic,
Well,
but
some
Luka's
Victor,
still there. But there's
Wembanyama.
people- yeah, Wembanyama's coming. Like there's people who do not only like just.
But they're
score,
not going to give him 10
they do
MVPs. Like,
so
he's
much.
gonna
Someone will
stop
come
eventually.
though. People will
Giannis,
start coming
Tatum.
to the
In
league.
my opinion,
Stop,
people
you said
do-
Tatum,
people
I'm
do
out.
more-
That was a
I'm
joke.
not even on the mic. In my opinion, like people, there's always gonna be a few people who do like more on the court than Ja provides, and so I don't think that even Ja getting a 1 seed will lead to him getting an MVP. But I do think that give him a good team and he could win a chip. You know what I mean? That's why I think
I
a
don't
chip.
believe it.
I think a chip in Ja Morant's future is more likely than an
Interesting.
MVP.
I think
still-
him winning entirely is improbable in my opinion.
Me too, because
Just anything
As
at
of
all
right
ever.
now, if the team just wants to stay like
Well,
this
the team
team
but they
stinks
got a
right now.
lottery
Yeah,
pick.
I'm like the team stinks.
And they
It's
were
not-
fucking dead last year.
Ja's
I
like
think-
24.
But this is heavy
like-
projecting for them to win. I think it's improbable for them to win.
But
right
they're
now.
like one of the youngest
Not
teams
right
in the
now.
league.
I'm saying
like, there's
his
a lot of
in his
time for them.
in his entire career, I'm saying
They're
that
24 or
yeah, he's
something.
24.
Westbrook
Like,
had a really
in
good
his
career
entire
too, by the way.
career,
I'm
I
not
think
saying
that
good
Ja
now.
has more of a chance,
All the NBAs.
especially with all the parity in the league right now. And you know what I mean? Like more teams are winning than ever. It's not just a same few people.
Plus,
So I think that he has much more of a chance in his entire career to win a chip than he does to win an MVP.
yeah, I'm still on the boat with like small guards not being able to be ones unless you're generational. Do you
No, I don't think he'll be.
John's
I think he can win a chip regardless of.
I don't think he'll
if
be a
he's the
one.
one or not.
I think
You think he's better than Dame? Will be better than Dame's peak?
Nah.
no.
Okay, then he's not gonna be able to win as
Well, that's a
one.
better Ja Dame.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think he can
fine.
win
That's
as a
a better
one, but I'm
concept.
saying if he does win, just in general, like
Oh, he's possible. Yeah, as a 2 he can.
you know what I mean.
I don't even think he'll outperform Allen Iverson. Look,
I think he is generational.
I think
though.
he can. I think he's better than he
MVP.
could be better.
I think he's a
than
Finals
generational
appearance
point.
MVP?
I think Ja's a
Yeah.
generational point guard.
Maybe. You think he's a generational point guard? What makes you say that? He
Point
just
guard
jumps.
specifically though. But
I
that's
think
what
he's.
I'm saying.
I think he's borderline.
Yeah,
generational.
generational athleticism.
I think he's
He
borderline
jumps.
generational point guard. I'll give you that.
I don't think.
I think he's on the
Nah,
cusp of it.
I think he's great.
I don't think.
I
he
like
imp-
him.
I don't
I
think
like
he
him.
impacts
Is
winning
Derrick
the way
Rose
that he does.
generational, or was he generational? I guess the injuries held him back. But
No,
Not to me.
I mean, no.
Not to me.
youngest
lot of-
MVP ever.
We're not.
Bro,
Yeah.
Westbrook dogs
You're
these
in a-
guys.
you're in
Like
a-
I don't know why everyone throws D Rose and
Well,
Westbrook's
he
name.
got his shit got derailed by injury.
Of course,
Yeah.
but even in their like
I don't
MVP,
think
like
D Rose is gonna win a chip though.
I just feel like
This team is really good too.
I don't know.
I
I,
don't
feel like
think-
if John Morant wins it, even if Russell Westbrook, like, I don't know, like even if John Morant doesn't win his championship, if he wins the MVP and has good stats for his career, I feel like you can argue it depending on the success in the playoffs. Because Westbrook has always folded in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
he's always either relied on Kevin Durant or when he's been by himself. He hasn't played winning basketball. Like
Yeah.
his biggest criticism is the turnovers. He can get played out of series and stuff like that because of his
Dumb
play style.
decisions,
Yeah,
and
so
the
it's
lack
like,
of shooting.
I feel like if John Morant, even if he doesn't win a chip, but he's like a Jason Tatum getting to the conference final consistently plus an MVP, then I feel like, okay,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Then he
Yeah.
could still be better than Westbrook. And I feel like I'm not saying it's hard to project that because it's a lot to ask,
it is.
but I think it's possible. I think people just forgot how good Ja Morant was because he was suspended 25 games. He came back. They were winning a lot when he came back for those 7
He's a winning
games.
player for
Yeah, I
sure.
was about to say.
So,
But it's
just
hard
like,
about the guards in his department.
Like, just like
field.
you forgot about Luka. Ja Morant, I feel like
He's
gonna
not on
remind
that level,
everyone.
though.
No, he's not at the level, but like he's gonna remind everyone he's an All NBA caliber player. Like,
But it's
he's-
hard for him in his era right now because there's like 2 or 3 guards just a little bit
But
edging him out.
Tell me this right now: if he was healthy all year, he would 100% make All NBA over Tyrese Halliburton. Would he
Yeah,
not?
I
So,
agree.
I don't know. Terry started the year off pretty strong.
No, but Ja's gonna
I'm
give
saying,
you
let's
20.
say Ja played
Yeah.
the
Ja's
whole
gonna
year.
give you like 28 and like 9, bro. Like 8. He's gonna give you that.
And like on a win.
And on a winning team,
Yeah.
like I think, because if you said Halliburton, I'm picking Ja obviously.
That's what
'cause
I'm saying,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ja, so Ja's clearing Halliburton in that regard. But
I'm just putting him in comparison
He's
to the
definitely a better
league.
player.
He's
100%,
All NBA level. Like, he's a top 15 caliber
100%.
player.
yeah,
Yeah.
1,000, I agree 1,000% with
So-
that.
15. I don't know. 20. Yeah.
Bro,
I
there's
see- I
6
see- I
guards.
see where
He's
you're
gonna
coming
make
from.
it.
I just put the All NBA like if
The 6
because
guards, he's making that
if he's
list.
better than Halliburton,
Okay,
which
yeah.
to me he is, and Halliburton
Top
made
50
All
season.
NBA. That's why I'm putting it in perspective.
And if you want to count Stafford stat, he could even outstat Jalen Brunson in Stafford stat. Not talking, what culture.
Not this
I-
year.
yeah, not this year, but
It's close.
I
What is
think
it?
honestly,
28 and 7.
I feel like
I'm thinking about
John
the
Morant in
playoffs,
his
though.
prime will be better than Jalen Brunson is right now.
100%.
Yeah. He's only
So-
what 23.
Yeah,
24.
24, 23.
Yeah,
so-
24.
So, I don't know.
Ja
Maybe
Morant's our age.
Maybe I'm just like I'm a super
I just
fan
don't
of
think
John
he'll win a
Morant.
chip.
I feel like people are forgetting how good he is. Like I feel like he's on that level of Anthony Edwards.
He
Yeah,
should leave his
he
team
is,
to
for
go win a
sure.
chip.
Huh?
He should leave his team to go win a chip.
Leave his team.
Actually,
If you
I'm not
watch
gonna lie.
Dame, get the fuck out. Get the
Not gonna
it's
lie,
too early, bro. It's too
even
early.
if I don't think he won an MVP, I do think that if I do agree with you, like if he continues to progress and he continues to like even if he doesn't win a chip and gets to like all those conference
Conference, yeah.
finals, performs, maybe it's not his fault that they lose, but it's like if he's continually performing year in and year out for his career, then I do see a path to him overlapping.
Surpassing.
You don't think he'll get
surpassing
washed
Westbrook.
off in history like a lot of players that average good stats and like that?
If
You don't think
he's-
he'll get
it
washed
just
out?
Depends on the
It
longevity.
depends on winning too. Yeah,
I feel like he'll get if that happens, if good stats leading to
Who's the good
conference
guy that
finals.
gets washed out though?
Yeah, that's right.
Tracy
Darren Williams.
Tracy McGrady, I don't know.
Darren
He never
Williams.
even made it past the first round. unless
Darren
he-
Williams was just like an all-star, like middle of all-star.
But he was winning with Utah. Like
PG is
I don't
gonna
know.
be like all right, McGrady.
I
out.
remember. I
Maybe.
remember Darren Williams at one point. We're saying, is it him or Chris Paul? The best
I
point guard in
remember
the league?
this when he was
Yeah.
on. Oh my god!
We also said the same thing about John Wall and Kyrie. Like
Or
Yeah.
John
Wall
Wall at
was a
one point was a
demon.
dog.
Yeah.
he was
At
but
one
he's not
point.
washed out. I mean, like he did his thing
Yeah.
for what he did. Like he gets enough respect for what he's done.
But
That's
no,
'cause he-
I'm
he-
thinking
he
of
did it-
Tracy,
he
bro.
did it-
Stat demon, but just
John Wall did
alright.
it for like too short of a time.
But
to-
Tracy has one like playoff win, isn't it? Or not even
No,
a
not
series
even,
at all.
Oh, here's this. Before the Spurs team that he was like riding the bench, he never made it out the first round.
Okay,
He
there
didn't
you go.
even play on that Spurs team,
Exactly.
so it doesn't count. Like he didn't
that's
have
why
playing
I'm,
time.
that's why I say the asterisk. Before that,
Yeah.
he never made out the first
All
round.
right, so
But he's a god, like 30 plus. You know what I'm saying, like type shit. But
yeah.
I think I have one hit. No, I mean,
but nobody mentions him like that on like
Because of that.
nowadays.
He
Exactly.
didn't get out
I
the
had
first
him
round.
with a different player on here, but I took him off and for a different one. Although we can replace him, so we can move on to this one. So this last one is some forwards. That's why I put Tracy McGrady with this dude. But I don't know. Maybe I did this guy dirty. So it's Paolo Banchero, Pau Gasol, and Draymond Green. And I switched Tracy McGrady for Pau Gasol because I feel like besides the playoff success, like with his numbers and his skill set, he's too good. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping, and maybe he is in that range.
Well, I'm going Draymond Green.
I'm going either Draymond or Powell, but it's not. Hassan thinks it's clear. I don't think it's
So
clear.
no Paolo, no Paolo.
No Paolo.
Okay.
I don't know, man. If
Because
Paolo's-
It's really early, but like he did lead his team to the playoffs in his second
Yeah,
year,
Paolo's
you know,
too.
Of
and he's
course
an
he did.
all-star. So that's why this is a heavy projecting.
heavy projecting for
Because-
Paolo.
because he's like I've even seen brawn comps for him thrown around there. So it's
Yeah.
like
What do you feel?
I don't see it. The playmaking is not
Yeah.
there, but I see the offensive game in that perspective.
What do you see his like career looking like? You know, I know we're his second year, but what do you see his career looking like?
2 rings.
2 rings, because
As a number
that's
2 or
pace.
3?
Because Powell is 2 rings. You know,
Yeah.
like
But it's
You
like,
have to- you
yeah,
have to
but
hit two at
he was a
least.
number 2. Like he was for sure
Yeah,
number 2, and
of
he
course.
wasn't like a demon. Like he was just a solid number 2.
he was
right?
very impactful. He was
So, yeah.
he was needed.
So it's like and Draymond, he's not even number 2, but he's on a dynasty as like a super role player.
Again, impactful on their team.
DPOY,
Very
though.
impactful.
DPOY,
Yeah, I was
a
gonna
lot
say.
of all defensives.
So,
Exactly.
but right now,
Four-time chip.
Paolo is the number 1 option. He's an all-star. He's only getting better. That's why for him it's super heavy projecting. How good do you think he's gonna be? That's really the main question.
Not
of
2
this.
rings.
This is good
as a
cross.
one, not
But
to
I don't.
my
But,
side,
I,
though.
But this is good cross matching
even
because
even
of
if he
different
gets
style of
if
player.
he gets one ring as a one, I think that's more valuable than what Pau Gasol did. In my
And
opinion.
Draymond has 4 rings.
Yeah,
That doesn't-
yeah,
but he's
Come
but
on,
he's
man.
but
4
he's
rings?
he's
one takes out 4.
he has
But-
one
but
job
no.
is play defense and
But
pass
okay,
the ball.
without him, they don't have any rings.
I'm not saying they do, but it's like Paolo has way more responsibility than Draymond.
Okay, but that doesn't.
I don't
take
know.
out
I
4
think
rings.
you're glazing. Like
This is a
It's
good
Draymond,
4 rings. You
Draymond
know how
is-
many
I'm
4
not-
rings is?
Draymond's not even better than Tracy McGrady though. Like
All time?
no,
Oh my goodness.
he's just a winner because he's on a dynasty, not because of him.
He
didn't
contributed to the dynasty though. Without him, nothing
Look,
happens.
he's a
It's
Hall
not
of-
a dynasty
He's
without
a Hall
him.
of Famer, but he's
This
not
is
a better
rage
player
bait.
than Tracy McGrady, and he never will be. I'm
We're
sorry.
talking about
He
career
impacts the game of
accolades,
basketball
like-
more than Tracy McGrady did. You
No,
can't
he
just
do-
look
no,
at
he
scoring and
doesn't.
say,
No, he
"Oh,
doesn't.
Tracy McGrady's good." He didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. He doesn't impact basketball at all besides scoring the basketball.
Yeah, if the question is like who's gonna have a better career, like accolades mean a lot more than
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's
And
in-
Draymond has more accolades.
Yeah, I honestly
it's-
I agree with.
But that's not individual. He doesn't have the individual accolades.
But
It's
his
all
defensive
team
accolades-
accolades.
DPOI.
Besides that, okay,
All defensive
DPOI.
teams, 4 all-star teams.
How many All Stars? You have 3.
Yeah, that's a good enough.
I think Paolo's about to surpass him in 2 seasons.
Okay, but then is he gonna have a DPOI? Is he gonna be on the all-defensive team? Is he gonna have 4 championships? No.
No, but can Paolo have 4 championships as a number 4 option? Probably. I'm
No,
sure if he was
he
a number
probably
4
could.
on
No,
the fucking
still probably
Celtics,
could. What are
he'd
the
be
odds?
cooking.
What are,
It could happen, bro.
no, it's still hard.
You're saying it's improbable, right?
4
I
championships
think it's
as
possible.
Draymond
as a
Green,
4th option is
what
still
Paolo
improbable.
averaged in his rookie year, Draymond has never averaged that in his career.
Yeah.
Okay, but
this
him
is
as a
true.
4th option, he's not averaging 20.
Who?
Say it again.
Paulo as a 4th option. won't
Paulo
average
would never
20
need to be a 4th
Fourth-
option.
exactly.
What's the point
That's
of
what-
this?
that was
Draymond
his
as a
whole
number
point.
1 option would never average 20.
That's not his game.
Draymond's taking 20 shots to get
Okay,
12 points.
I'm telling you,
But
like,
he's saying if he's a 4th option, he could win 4 chips. I still don't think that will happen. 4 chips in today's modern NBA.
bro,
is
if he was
not
on
possible.
the Celtics right now, they would have already won the finals. I don't know
Hassan,
how.
but you're
it would-
taking a
100%.
product. You're taking a product.
His
Hassan,
stats
Hassan.
obviously won't be the same.
Hustle, you're taking the product of someone who played with the 2 best shooters of all time under the best team of all. Like these are like you got to think about these things. Paolo's a number 1
Okay,
option
but
on a
Paolo's a-
rebuilding on a new team on a young
Paolo's a
If
team.
you don't tell me
potential.
that he's a huge part of them being
Dog,
what they are, then they wouldn't have won chips.
Hold on.
I
By the way,
100% guarantee
what
you.
if
He is
Paolo
a
gets
big
like
part.
12 or 14 all-star, like 8 All-NBA appearances when he's like a little like he's
Yeah,
gonna
you
get
gonna
into
say
that.
Draymond's
12
better
or
'cause
There's
14
no
also.
way you're gonna say Draymond's better than this
Alright,
guy, right?
Finish off his like career stats.
Okay, high end, he
Let's
wins a
take
ring.
Damian Lillard's stats just to compare him. Okay,
I don't think
eight
Damian's
All Stars
better.
and 7 All NBAs.
He could do that, and
With
Lillard's
no ring-
better.
in his
no
own
rings.
career.
And Lillard's better than
With
Draymond.
no rings. He's
And
still
Lillard's
better than
No,
Draymond
no,
Green.
Come on,
No.
you don't?
Are you kidding?
Because
How?
I think, yeah,
He's bro.
Is Damian Lillard better than Draymond Green?
no,
Whoa.
he doesn't impact the game of basketball
I
more
see
than
what?
Draymond
I
Green
see
does.
what you're
Bro,
saying.
you're
doesn't.
tripping. You're
I
glazed.
Dude, what has he done? What is Damian Lillard
Bro,
done?
Draymond Green, the only reason he's cemented in legacy is because he was drafted to a dynasty team. And I'm not saying he didn't impact their winning. He was important to that. But if he was on the fucking Pistons, he would not be the same person.
That's all I hear. All I'm talking about is facts.
Could Draymond average more than 15 points per game on another
That's not
team?
his game. I'm talking about impact
the-
of basketball.
he
He
can't
impacts
do
the
it.
game of basketball more than Damian
Oh
Lillard
my
does, and
God.
it's shown in
Is
his
Rudy
career.
Gobert better than Damian Lillard? He has 4 DPOIs.
No, but he doesn't have
He
anything
doesn't
else.
impact the game of basketball
What
like
else
Damian
does
Lillard.
he do? Look, he only has 4 DPOIs.
That's the
What else
same
does he
fucking.
do?
The only argument between Draymond and
Draymond
Rudy
does way more
Gobert
than
is that
Gobert.
Draymond won. That's the only
He has
difference.
Nice.
all stars. He
So-
has 4 DPOIs.
so how-
he has a
He's a
DPOI
better
and he has
passer
4
too.
championships.
He's a
So
better
does
passer.
Without
Rudy
them-
Gobert has
Hassan,
all stars
Hassan.
too.
Okay, so without Draymond Green, they don't win any
Hassan,
championships
Hassan,
at
I don't
all.
disagree with
It's 4.
Pause,
How many?
Hassan, this is all attributed to the team thing. Draymond's whole
Okay, yeah.
career, Draymond's whole career is attributed to team. The people that we're mentioning, Paolo Banchero, even Damian Lillard, these are like players who are like making their career off them. Without Draymond being on the Warriors, he doesn't have what he is.
And with Klay Thompson wouldn't be who he is, and Stephen Curry wouldn't be who
I
he
agree,
is.
but
100%.
That's that you
It's a
agree. You're
puzzle.
agreeing to that. You're
Okay,
like you're attributing.
so
to my
everybody
point.
attributes to the whole puzzle, and that's
So why are you giving him all the
great.
credit
There's
for
no
the
impact.
chips?
Because that's what he did. It's facts. It's
No,
proven
you-
in history. It has it in history.
Yeah,
Bro,
in
how are you
this
giving
argument-
how are you giving him all the credit for the chips?
I
But
didn't.
then-
I didn't say 100%.
You
credit.
did. You're saying,
I'm
oh,
saying
but he
without
has
him.
4 chips and no one will pass that.
Because
But
they
it-
all
like it
have a
was all
certain
him.
percentage of. Okay,
Relax.
Curry wouldn't win a chip without him. 100% correct. Right?
Yeah,
He
I
wouldn't
agree.
He wouldn't have 4 chips.
But he wouldn't have
Clay
one
wouldn't
chip
have 4
with Curry or
chips.
Clay
They
or
all have-
Kerr.
Exactly. It all
Hassan,
fits
give me
each
a-
other.
Hassan, give
You
me
can't
a-
just say he wouldn't
Hassan,
because he's done it.
Hassan.
But
We're
Damian
talking about
Lillard,
facts.
Damian
These
Lillard
guys
has
are
never
it.
been in a position to rely on these type of role players.
Okay, that's life.
Hassan, can you give me a percent?
So,
Probably
but
his
why-
fault too.
let me give a
Yeah,
basic.
so why
example.
are you giving that for Draymond? Because he was
Because
in a
he's
good
done it.
situation and against Damian Lillard
Yes.
in a bad situation. situation.
He's
Fez,
still
hold on,
because he's
hold
done
on.
it.
Hassan.
He has done it.
I want to ask a question. Let's look at it like a pie chart, right?
Huh.
So the first time they won the chip, right? When they beat LeBron. How much percent of success are you giving to Draymond
A lot.
and
He didn't
Curry
even-
and
Lot.
Clay? Give me a
Iguodala
reason
won
they don't-
Finals
Hold on, give me
MVP.
a percent.
The
Give me
reason
a percent.
the reason
There's
they don't
Iguodala,
have.
there's
Can I
Curry.
speak?
Yeah,
You're asking me. Give me a percent. Give me a percent. You're not even letting me finish the answer or give you an answer in the
It's a
first
number.
place.
It's a number answer to my question.
Okay, first off, they wouldn't. The reason they don't have 5 rings is because of Draymond Green.
You're not answering my question still, by the way.
Okay, but that contributes to your question. He's put a lot. He has a lot of percentage in the first ring, and the second ring.
Give me a number. I need a
75%.
75.
No way,
Yeah.
bro.
Is
No
that
way.
outlandish to you?
wait
Does that
up.
seem insane?
75 is a lot. But
no.
I do.
So
I-
Curry being less than 25.
So
So you're saying Curry's 25%?
3
No,
divided
no.
by 100. What's 3
Even
divided by
less.
100?
Clay Thompson's a
That's
0.
33.
Best. Clay
Huh?
Thompson 0. Iggy
33.3.
0.
Okay, 33.3%.
Okay, so Finals MVP, how much credit does he get?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Finals MVP.
I
Iggy.
think that was a
Iguodala, how
fluky.
much
I think
credit
that was
does
a
he get for
fluky
that?
ass Finals MVP in my opinion.
So like
I
20.
agree a little bit, but like, he
Yeah,
still
like-
gets like he
So like
did.
LeBron
20.
should have won Finals
20%,
MVP,
right?
though.
He gets like 20? Should he get like
It was
20?
a team effort.
Cool.
So like 15? Oh,
15.
Iggy.
I say Curry should get like most
60,
of the
right?
percentage.
65?
Like, more like 50 at least. 50.
At least.
Yeah.
Because he's the best player on the team by far.
I feel like him and Clay should get equal amount of percentage. And if you don't think Clay's better than
Nah,
than,
I'm not-
than
I'm-
Damian Lillard, I don't think you should think Draymond's better than Damian Lillard, in my opinion.
I think Clay's better than Damian Lillard too. I really do.
I can't get behind that. I'm
Hassan,
sorry. I just
you're
can't.
serious, right?
I
This
can't
guy has
get
4
behind that,
rings,
bro.
and his impact on basketball
but
as being a
it's-
number 2. Do you think
wait,
Scottie
wait.
Pippen's better than Damian Lillard?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think what's another big
But he
number
won
2?
6 championships, and he was a multi-time All-Star. Draymond Green
Who's
is
Tony
3
Parker,
All-Star
Ginobili? Who do
appearances.
you want to say?
What's his name as multiple All Stars too? 5, right? I
Cool.
think we talked about Clay.
Let me check. Let me
4 or
double
5?
check before I talk.
4 or
4 is
5.
not impressive to me. I'm gonna
But
be
still, I'm saying like the
and a
championship
lot of that was a
aspect
byproduct of winning.
is
Like,
not-
Four
these
on
guys
that
aren't winning
team
4
is because of the
championships.
Warriors' team success. That's why they
But
have
the
it.
thing
Yeah,
you're
well,
not
well,
your thing you're not thinking about is that everybody contributes to the success. And if you take out these key pieces, there's no success at
I
all.
get what
No,
you're saying.
I-
So
though.
you can't say that.
I
That
get
argument
what
is
you're
mute.
saying.
No,
I get
bringing
what
that
you're
you're
up.
not understanding us because we're saying everyone contributed to it, but you can't give him all the credit for it.
I'm
either.
not.
You said
He gets the
75
credit
off
because
the
But
bat.
you're using the
I
4
said
chips.
I changed it to 33.
okay.
You're, using,
Nah,
you're
but-
saying
okay,
the
but-
4 chips is like he was the main reason.
Like
for
2
it.
or
No,
KD.
he was a bit
2 or
worse.
KD.
when we're talking about, in my opinion,
Even
I'm
those
on
are
that
even less
5.
percentage than he was
I'm
like
rolling-
for.
In
in my
2022,
opinion,
we couldn't have won it without him either.
I'm rolling with Hassan.
I agree. No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you could have won a single one without him. I'm just saying you can't give him the responsibility that Damian Lillard shoulders and that type of responsibility because Draymond Green is able to be so good at what he does is because he has all these guys around him make his job so much easier. If Damian Lillard had that, I'm sure he would be winning championships and
What
doing all
happened
this
this
other
year?
shit.
What happened
Well,
this year?
his best player was out, and he had a fucking idiot.
And he
at head
injured
coach,
too.
so.
He got injured too
All
in
right,
the
we'll
middle
see
of
how
the
the
playoffs.
current.
I
we'll see
also-
how his
I don't-
current-
Those fools almost pulled it out with just Damian Lillard, and they even almost fucking won a
For
game
one
with Malik
series.
Beasley going crazy.
Chris
so.
Mitty.
Mitty.
series.
Chris Mitty.
Honestly, like
Yeah,
and for
yeah,
the
he
for
was-
the last
I
like
got him more.
for the last like 4 to 5 years in the Blazers, I think it's Dame's fault that he didn't just get out of there. You know what I mean?
Facts.
The writing was on the wall for years. You know what I mean? So it's like I get that he was in a bad situation, but you kind of like at some point, you know, it became a meme of him.
Staying
I'm
there.
not
yeah.
running from the grind. You know what I mean? Like he
It's true.
should have left and pursued a better team because it's not. No one would have really faulted him for leaving that trash organization. But it's like somebody, in my opinion, I'm rolling a little more with Hassan on this one because
You
I
got no
think that-
consideration for Paolo though before we
no,
just
okay,
move back.
Paolo's great. Paolo's great, and I think he'll have a great career. But I do think that if we're talking about
So
someone having a better career, you know what I mean?
is it the chips that said Draymond? Like I'm talking about.
Let him
Paolo.
finish his point.
It's
Well,
the-
I just want to ask about Paolo. For Paolo, before because we're gonna move past him and talk about them, Draymond Green.
Yeah.
I'm asking for Paolo. Like, do you not think he can get the chips, or you think he won't get enough accolades to match the chips? Like, what is it with him?
He has to win
Uh,
2 chips. I
I
don't think
think-
he'll win 2 chips.
I think
Why do you
that
think it's two? If
Draymond's
he wins one as the one, you don't
Because
think
you
that's
said Pau Gasol.
Because then he
Pau
gets a
Gasol's the standard.
Hassan, then he gets a Finals MVP in that regard. You get what that means? That's better than Pau and Draymond.
Okay,
Because
yes.
he's the one.
So you think he's gonna win a chip?
No, but Bez is saying
Oh,
if he
Why?
gets one.
Like
Here's
I don't
the better
understand why
question.
you're arguing. Wait up,
We're not
wait up.
arguing.
Let me finish. I don't understand why you're arguing for Paolo if you don't think he's gonna win. Why talk about him?
We're giving him
Why?
a chance because we're saying
I think he
if
can win.
Okay,
But
you
this
think
is a
he can?
prediction.
He
This is a
doesn't.
projection.
because we're saying no. I want to talk about it because it's a good topic. It's if he ends up winning a Finals MVP and the other players don't have it, does that warrant him to bypass them?
I don't believe he would.
That's
He
the-
will, but I
but-
still don't think so because
But if he does, is he better than them both?
no, 1 is not enough.
One Finals MVP is not enough.
1 to 4.
I'll ask you this
4 chips.
follow-up question.
No.
Do you
Finals
think
MVP,
one,
Hassan.
one
Hassan.
chip as the guy is more impressive than 2 chips as the second guy? What's more impressive?
1 chip as a guy.
So
That's good.
So why would you? I don't understand why you're taking Gasol over Paolo
Yeah.
if he wins that championship. Like theoretically, If he wins the one as the guy,
I just don't think he would.
That's what he just said. He said
Okay, I mean,
one is more
But we're
important
asking
than two.
if this is a hypothetical. I don't say I don't want to talk about. But we are. We're talking about hypotheticals.
That's what I'm saying. That's
So
the
if
point.
Paolo,
The point is
'cause
like
you just said.
All right, no,
one is
forget
good-
that. Move on to this. Why don't you think he can win one? Is a better question. Because I understand the point. You don't think he will. Why don't you think he
The
can
league's
win?
It's the
come?
talent of the league. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he
You
can
don't
be a
think
one in the
You don't think he
NBA.
can improve to the point to be like a go-to guy on a championship? level
No.
team? You just don't. think
SGA
he
got
can.
to that good. Why can't he? I don't
We'll
get it.
see. We'll see. I
I
think
mean,
Paolo
yeah,
could be
that's
that.
fair because I didn't think
could.
SGA would be this good. But
Exactly.
Paulo can. We'll see.
that's what I'm saying.
but I
Like
don't think
things
he
are
can.
possible.
Okay.
We're not saying things are impossible, but it's like, do we think that he will?
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is a good.
that's
This
like
is
a
a good dialogue.
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
just
It
high
is a
on
good
This is a
Paolo,
good
but-
dialogue.
Yeah,
This is
I
a good
just think
dialogue.
one as a guy is not comparable to 4 as a.
I think
Go
I do
back- go
think
back
that
to your
I do
point.
think that Draymond, he does deserve 75 is a crazy ass number.
All right,
But he
change
does
that.
deserve a lot. He does deserve a lot of credit because although like
I'll
you know what I
give him
mean,
30.
like a lot of stats can sometimes be glorified. Like Draymond has been affecting things on the court like far more than people really give him credit
I
for,
definitely
and that's
agree
been
with
his
that.
that's been his main like claim to fame is
Yeah.
that like he impacts the games far more than what the box score will actually show you. You know what I mean? And not everybody's gonna go and watch advanced stats, you know. And that's not advanced stats don't win you awards at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that he's contributed so much to those teams that he deserves to be known as like, you know, he is an important piece to that team, and I think that should be credited appropriately at least. You know, I don't think that one chip as a dude would overcome 4 of them, but I think a cup. I mean, you know, if somebody won 2 Finals MVPs, maybe I would, but like just one chip, I don't think it would, and I don't think Paolo is really in a position. At least right now, obviously anything could happen. Anyone could he could just all of a sudden end up on a super team somehow. You know what I mean? Like things
but
could happen. But
even sorry to add
like-
to your point, the 2022 chip for the Warriors, you could argue that Draymond was the second best player on that team.
I have a
damn
question.
near besides Poole,
Oh, you could
yeah.
argue
I have a
Wiggins
question.
was too, honestly.
Yeah,
You-
Wiggins too.
Are you both agree that one chip as the main guy doesn't make someone better than Draymond Green, or it depends on the guy?
No,
No.
one chip definitely not, but 2, yes.
So Giannis is not better than Draymond.
He has 2 chips. Oh,
No,
he has
no.
1 chip.
Well, he has
he
an
has 2
MVP,
MVPs.
bro.
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's 2 MVPs.
If
This
Paolo
year.
Two
was
do-
MVP,
two DPOYs,
if Paolo
10
was the
times-
MVP,
All types of
yeah,
all
changes
NBAs,
it.
like,
it
yeah,
changes
yeah,
the
yeah.
conversation for sure.
Okay, so
I
if
think
Paolo
about
gets a chip and MVP,
chip MVP, 10-time All Star, maybe
Like
some
couple
DPOYs,
All-NBA.
All NBAs. Yeah, change
Well, I don't
the
think
conversation.
DPOY.
Yeah, yeah. He,
Oh, those
he may
are
not
For
have
Dame,
the
for what
DPOYs,
Dame
but-
has right now, I don't think he'll ever surpass Draymond Green,
okay.
and his impact on basketball is not as big as Draymond Green's.
If Dame wins a chip and a Finals MVP, would your thoughts change at all? or
No,
no?
I
You
still-
still think? Okay.
yeah.
To me, it would, in my opinion. I feel like if you have a chip as the guy and plus all those like All NBA accolades, like those are important as well. I feel like if not, maybe not surpass, but at the very least you should be equal because you're doing the same. I feel like your responsibility is different, but you have just as big of an impact. It's just in different ways. Because Draymond, like I said, since he was surrounded with such good players, it allowed him to be him. Like Damian Lillard has to play, or a guy like Damian Lillard has to play a certain way for his team to be successful. And I feel like, again, the chip is important as the guy. I feel like that would be the conversation at that point. But I think if you can do that, I think that's way more impressive than playing within a system when you can rely on like 3-4 All-Stars. You know
Or
what I mean?
Dirk.
What do you mean?
Pick Dirk or Draymond.
Yeah, that's a let me.
All
let's-
time?
That's even
yeah,
less than
that-
Giannis.
That's a
accolades.
good comparison.
He has no all
Who are you
NBAs.
taking, Dirk or
He has
or
no all
Draymond?
defenses. He has no
I'm
deep
taking
boys.
Dirk. I'm taking Dirk.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has 14 All-Stars and he
Yeah, I
is
wanted to
a
say.
12-time All-NBA. Well, that's
Yeah.
OD.
Yeah, that's OD. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
He
gotta
has one
take Dirk,
MVP,
even
right?
even with the
As-
one,
as-
yeah.
MVP, yeah.
Exactly.
Even
I'm
with
taking
just
Dirk.
the one chip and one.
So he's the
yeah,
one
yeah.
guy with the one chip.
MVPs also count for a lot too.
Okay,
like,
so let's say Paolo has this career, but less All-Stars and All-NBA.
Like
Let's
eight
say
and
10,
six.
10 to 8.
10,
Would he surpass
10,
Draymond?
10 All-Stars and 8 All-NBAs?
Yeah, so Dirk has 14 and 12, but Paolo has the MVP, the Finals MVP, but instead of 14 and 12, he has 10 and 8.
An MVP season? As a
Like he has.
yeah,
he won
I think
MVP.
having an
Oh.
MVP season,
yeah, that'll help
yeah,
a lot.
yeah, and a chip, yeah, that's
Would
for
that
sure.
be
yeah.
enough to surpass Draymond? So
Yeah,
he's-
yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
So the MVP and the chip is what you think would
Would
solidify.
put
MVP, in my opinion, like especially as time goes on, will mean more and more because it's so well.
You're
Jokic,
the one, and
Jokic
you
keeps
did it
winning
as a
them,
one.
but
Yeah,
like,
Jokic.
but at the end of the day, the
Exactly.
league is so talented that it's
One
hard,
guy
to,
gets the
hard to win
MVP.
an MVP at all.
One guy gets the
It's hard to win an
Unless you're
MVP and a
Jokic.
championship.
Yeah.
So you'll 100% be.
I think
part
that
of
hasn't
it.
happened in
I
like
think-
9 years.
I
But
think this-
Damian Lillard, he's proven that he can't win as a 1. And if he wins as a 2, then the
I'm more so
conversation's all
asking about
different.
Paolo. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think Dame is kind of like he's on a tail end, so he's like it's harder for him to be a number 1 at this point. Like,
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm saying.
he isn't a number 1.
He would have
Yeah.
to. He would have to have like a 32 to 35 piece in
Yeah.
the finals and win a chip to like for that to. He would have to be the guy in the finals. You know, even if he's not the guy the whole year, if he steps up as the guy in the finals and
That'd
has
be
a,
sick.
you know what I mean? Then it's like
Next
okay,
year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's just interesting because like the main question I had was like, as 4 chips as a role player, albeit like a superstar role player, like how many or what type of career would you have to surpass like a superstar role player versus just a star player individually? That's
one
why
chip
we
and
used the MVP and the chip.
That's it.
I like the take. I
What
like
puts
the take.
Draymond up there too, especially like not only just winning, is that he does have those DPOYs. Like that's a big accolade.
And all
Being the
defenses, too.
like having he has 3 or how many?
DPOYs?
Yeah.
2, I think. 1
2.
or 2.
I'm
One or
like
2.
but having DPOYs is a big deal. Like that's the best of the league, best in the league stat. You know what I mean? A best in the league accolade, which should be counted as big deals. So I feel like it shows that he was in a system, but he wasn't just like there. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not even
the
saying the
court.
system hurt him. I'm just saying like he was allowed to play his role to the max of his abilities because like the supporting cast was so good.
Yeah,
you know?
1 DPOY.
Who is that?
J-Mon, 1 DPOY.
Yeah.
you can
1
say it.
steals
Bro, how
champ,
many
1
all in
depoy.
defense? Like,
8.
So
twice?
8 All
Yeah,
NBA
yeah,
defenses.
And he was
Yeah.
probably like the first team on all.
He was 2 All NBA
or,
players
like damn near all.
Yeah, 2 All-NBA. 2.
for for a super role player.
The one thing I'll say, I
for
mean,
as a
this,
role player, all NBA. I mean,
I
Yeah,
just like
2
to
of
see.
them, 2
I like
seasons.
to see how people, not just Warriors fans, other people view like want to count Draymond's career because yes, he has the
it's
deep
a very
boys.
unique career.
Exactly.
It's not normal for like a Hall of
We
Famer
mean-
to
they meme
basically never average.
Yeah.
10
They
points.
meme about the triple single all the time, like all the time on ETN, all that stuff. But this man is like gonna be a Hall of Famer for sure.
No,
Yeah.
For being a
no,
deep boy,
Oh,
all
easily,
NBA,
yeah.
all like playmaking, steals, like he's gonna make it. But I
It is
like
a
seeing
good
where people-
conversation to see, though, like
rank
Damian
him.
Lillard's impact compared to Draymond's in basketball.
I like seeing where people rank Draymond Green compared to other like Hall of Fame caliber players too. So
No, yeah,
or other
Draymond.
all-time greats. You know?
I just think of like Draymond Green is tough because the winning is obviously so important and his impact is so much bigger than numbers. But it's like a lot of guys just asked to do more and more on their plate. Like, and some of the guys that have achieved similar heights, it's like, do you value because he was winning the chips, or the guy that may have not won the chips, but he was doing way more. You know,
That's
I have
what-
a cool
that's what
question.
I
I have a cool question.
That's the game.
I don't know if this is a cool question
Yeah.
actually. Does any MVP have a better career than Draymond Green ever? Any MVP? Past like the 80s.
Derrick
Wait, what do
Rose,
you mean?
no.
Past
Wait,
the
what?
80s.
And does any have a better?
Does like
or
any
worse?
MVP,
What do you mean worse?
the worst MVP have a better career than Draymond?
Draymond or
But let's
D-Rose?
exclude
Derrick
D-Rose.
Rose.
Let's
D-Rose.
exclude D-Rose. Let's exclude D-Rose.
Oh, then no.
Wait,
I can't think of
is
one.
Allen Iverson better than Draymond Green?
That's a good
I
question.
think he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
he
think of
has
the
a better-
lowest MVP we can get to like
There's worse MVP.
Garnett?
Nah, yeah,
Garnett's
you gotta
better,
take,
right?
You
No,
gotta
Garnett's
take.
100% better.
Oh, he's a top
Yeah.
20 player. What am I tripping on?
I think I'll take AI.
over
I
Draymond.
feel like AI is
Yeah.
a good one. For like until
Nash.
Close.
what about Nash?
No, Nash got 2 MVPs.
Nash,
taking
We
yeah,
got
Nash.
two. We
Yeah,
got
Nash,
two.
Nash.
We got two. I'm just trying to think of the
Nash
MVPs.
was like Curry before Curry.
Yeah.
Let me just go down the list. I can't remember. I want
It's
to
gonna-
see.
I mean, the only ones that would probably
Karl
use some
Malone.
old ass ones. No.
Karl Malone's definitely better.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we don't stand Karl Malone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Therefore,
Bleep
Draymond
that
beats
nigga's
him.
name. Bleep his name. You can't.
Don't look at like the
Beat
50s
Malone.
dudes.
I'm finna
'cause,
pass
I know.
on
I
his
know.
body.
I
I'm
wanna go
John
past, like,
Stockton.
70s. I want to go past like 70s.
Like who is Derrick Rose? Like Derrick Rose is gonna be the only MVP that might not make the Hall of Fame just because.
Because of his career, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to exclude him because he's not.
Everyone else is like a bona fide Hall of
Yeah.
Famer. You know what I mean? That's everyone
Okay.
an MVP. If I'm not mistaken,
fuck?
right?
Go up.
The fuck am I? Okay. Okay.
Joel Embiid or Draymond
better,
Green?
better.
Draymond Green has a better career than Joel.
For right now,
Right now,
yeah. I
career-wise,
might
yeah,
have to
for
agree.
Right now, yeah.
I might have to agree. What about Westbrook? Westbrook, right?
No, I put Draymond Green over Russell Westbrook.
Really?
I think
I
so.
don't know.
Ooh, I don't know
Yeah.
about
I'm a
that.
little bit of a Westbrook hater, but
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, because
I
that's
know.
my
I'm
whole
giving it to
point
Russ.
when it comes to like the better career. I'm like I weigh winning in accolades much more than like stats. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like
Career,
I think
yeah.
that's it.
Career,
Like-
yes.
you know what I mean?
Career,
Because
I
we're
think
talking
that's
about
us.
we're talking about
Us.
who will have a better at
That's
the
it.
end. Like the question is who will have a
Because
better
everyone's
career
like
by the
Michael
end of it. You
Yeah,
know what I
like,
mean?
who will be
Oh, 'cause
looked
they
at
have
more
4 of
fondly,
them,
right?
Yeah, so I'm like, if winning in accolades mean a lot, you know, compared to when someone's like, oh, who's a better player? I'm gonna say Dame's a better player. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he averages 30. You know, he's a better
Yeah,
player,
he's a better
basketball
player.
player. But like,
30.
Career.
when we're talking about who will have a better career, you gotta weigh those chips. Like he has 4 chips on his record. You know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean? Like,
does.
I feel like Draymond and Russell Westbrook are such polar opposites. Where Westbrook is all stats, but it doesn't translate to winning.
Wins,
where
yeah.
Draymond is no stats, but it's all winning. You
Yeah,
know?
so I'd rather have a
It's
Draymond
like-
career.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like, which
like,
career would you rather have?
when you talk about career wise, I'm taking.
Yeah, I'm taking
the wins
Draymond.
I'm
and
thinking
stuff.
Draymond. I think
lucky ass dude is in the Warriors, bro.
it's like
Not luck, bro.
it's like Russell.
Bro, if I was born, okay.
Dude, he has 2 chips without him, though.
You know how I see
They should have
Draymond.
3.
You know how I see
Like,
Draymond's chips.
If you
know
take
how I
away
see Draymond's
KD,
chips, you're gonna get mad. Watch. I see Draymond. You know Draymond has 4 chips, right? And if he's like 20% factor in all of them, well, even less for the KD ones. Draymond realistically has like 1.25 chips, Hassan. Like
That's
real
not true.
chips, like
Without
real
Kevin
chips.
Durant,
No, but like real chips. Like
he's
he's
not
like
even let me talk.
You know what? I thought
Real
you
Oh
were,
my goodness.
weren't you the only one that told me there's fake rings in the NBA? Oh, Kobe didn't earn these ones.
No
already.
fake.
I never
rings.
said Kobe.
Except the
never earned any
Raptors.
rings.
Oh, Kobe's 3-peat
I
doesn't
think
count.
Draymond deserves a lot of credit for the first and the
He
fourth.
said that before.
And if
The second and
the,
third,
the
I mean,
Warriors
like,
one, or sorry, the Warriors. The
KD
one
is
that,
KD. Like KD's
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? Like
still two is
even
a
if
lot.
Even if
You gotta
Draymond,
have those.
he just doesn't have. He just didn't have to do it.
Even
you
if
know
he
what I
didn't
mean?
play,
Like
they would have won the series. I'm gonna be honest.
Which one?
The one
with
was
KD.
Yeah, so okay, if you take away the KD ones, he still has two.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
And
I'm
then
saying he
half
deserves
those,
mass.
he's not
He
the
deserves a lot of
What do
credit
you
for the
mean,
first
half
and the
those?
fourth, and he still deserves credit for the second and third. But it's just like, come on now.
It,
Like,
it wasn't as important,
Yeah.
crucial for him to do his thing.
But to be fair though,
Here's how you do
we
the
don't know
math.
if they would have won with
Here's
or
how you do the
without
math.
KD
I'll show
because
you.
it still would have been
Listen.
like LeBron, the Warriors, and Cavs.
yeah, no, I don't think they would have won without KD. Honestly,
You don't think they would have won another one?
no.
They
didn't,
could have.
didn't Draymond say they needed him, or who said
Yeah.
Yeah, Draymond did.
They said
That's
that. They said that they after that they said they weren't gonna beat him like without.
if you do two real
I
chips
think it
times
would've been tough.
0.33.
yeah,
He
that's like a
really has
mental
60
thing. Like
He has
you know
he
what I
has 60% of a ring.
In the finals, like-
it's tough to come back from.
mean? Yeah, and they're probably only gonna make moves to get better. You know, in the offseason.
I don't know. Well, the 2022 one solidified everything, I guess, in my opinion.
I think that was probably one of the most
Well,
impressive
Curry
chips for their.
stepped up.
You know,
Yeah.
because the first one, like, all power to him, but like stuff happened that made
Yeah.
it a little
And
easier.
you can say
to
the
win
same
chip,
thing for
you know what I mean?
2016, so that's why it's like cancels out. 'Cause
Yeah.
he got.
I mean, he did
ejected.
some
Well, I
stuff.
mean that's
But, yeah.
self-inflicted, but yeah, but like yeah.
Kelly
So I think that
Olynyk isn't self-inflicted.
the 2022 chip is especially Curry's most impressive chip in my opinion.
Me too.
You know,
I
It's a
feel
good
like,
conversation though.
I feel like to me like. I feel like it. Not that it gets overhyped, but like people are saying, "Oh, he cemented himself." But I feel like
He
the
already
Finals
cemented
MVP
himself,
thing is
like,
like
yeah.
so overblown. The fact that he didn't have one.
that was like a media.
like that
thing,
was just like so.
I didn't really
stupid.
care, me
Yeah.
personally.
I mean,
He definitely should have had it in 2015. It's like that shit. Oh, he played
was
good.
so
Nigga averaged like 32 points. I averaged 32 points and he held him. And say that he held him to
I'm a
something.
big
like,
Iggy fan, so
Yeah,
like,
I
love
I
Iggy
love
too.
that he got it. But at the same time, like looking
like,
back
come on
on it in
now, yeah.
hindsight, Steph
Brother, you
100%
didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
You
like-
he
didn't
believes
deserve
that
it, brother.
Steph. He believes Steph should have got it
Yeah.
too, but
He
He-
should have just reluctantly gave it to
Yeah,
him.
you should have just handed it to him.
Nah,
after
that's
that.
Nah,
what's
that's
up.
like a yeah.
How
That's
is
like
that messed
a.
up? He's the best player.
Nah,
What?
because that's weird. Like,
disrespectful.
yeah,
timing.
yeah. It's like
they didn't name
Yeah,
him.
so John Ryan giving Desmond Bain the award is not
It was disrespectful.
yeah.
It's funny because that shit might have cemented Iggy as a Hall of Famer because his accolades aren't crazy. He has
You
like
think
one
he'll make it?
All-Star. I mean, I feel like with 4 championships and he was like a super role player.
I think he has
on
a
those
couple All
teams.
Stars on his belt. 'Cause
One.
of Philly. It was
Yeah, he has
only
one.
one.
It was only
Yes,
one. And you know what? I remember looking back because I was a huge Iggy fan back in the day. Like I think he made the All-Star team on the Nuggets. And his years in Philly when he was elite, he didn't make a single game. When he was averaging like
'Cause of
20
the
plus
East?
points, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm gonna fact check
I
that,
mean, I
but
think
like
the East was strong then in Fords.
it was just kind of ridiculous because I'm like I remember like Iggy and his
But he still has 4
those are
chips,
better
so he should
years,
make
right?
it regardless because of the 4 championships.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the Hall of Fame's not. I'm not gonna say it's not hard to
Hard.
make into,
is
but like,
he getting his jersey retired with the
Warriors probably.
like he's only a 1-time All-Star, 2-time
nobody-
All
ain't nobody
Defense,
finna
and a
go wear
4-time
number 9.
champ in the Finals MVP.
no one's finna go wear number 9 anyway. They get retired. Like,
Yeah, no, he did make it on Philly. Average, no. Here's what it is. This is ridiculous, bro. I remember seeing this. So the year he made it on Philly, brother averaged 12 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. The year before that, he averaged 17. The year before that, he averaged 18.8. Then he averaged 20. Then he averaged 18. And the year he makes it, brother averages 12 points. I don't
He
get
might
that.
not make it the Hall of Fame
Dude.
then, huh?
Oh,
4 chips is a big accomplishment, but I mean,
I
you
think
need
he
other
probably will.
accolades.
Maybe
too.
not first ballot.
Man, I
type
totally
shit,
forgot
but-
those 2 years he was on the Miami Heat, bro. And then came
Oh,
back
yeah.
to Golden
Non-existent Miami Heat
The
years.
Memphis years too. I didn't even play on Memphis.
State. No, he just
He got
chilled there.
traded. I remember Dylan Brooke was like, "Oh, go on that
Yeah,
side.
get the
we don't
fuck.
need you."
He's like, get the fuck out of here. He's
So
basically
he didn't even
saying like,
help
I
us.
want to be on the Heat or the Warriors or something
Yeah.
like. I don't know.
Indiana finally got a win today, Bez.
Where? Oh, the Fever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, good.
And Caitlin
they
like
beat
a-
the Sparks though.
Kayla hit like a 35-foot 3 to dagger him.
Oh,
I just
really?
saw the clip.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I
want to see
seen,
it?
I seen people on my story.
I want to see you say something negative now, bitch.
Look
Yeah.
at how
Y'all
many.
tryna- y'all
Look,
tryna go
look at
to,
how many.
uh,
Look how many
Sparks
people are in the
the
fans.
next time the Fever come to the Sparks.
Us.
I don't think that they probably.
Look at how many
probably
people are in
won't
I
the
was
follow.
about
arena.
to go to the game today. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I seen some people on the
Expensive,
story. I
huh?
didn't know that it
Hold
was.
on. Look,
I probably would have tried to if I would have known it was a Fever.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
never
like,
seen
like,
that many
6 can't
people
be
in
that
the
much.
arena.
You
I
know what I
didn't
mean?
see
they,
it.
they weren't. I was
Yeah,
trying to go.
yeah.
I was like, I just
First of all,
we
that
were
shot's-
doing it. and I was
Yeah,
busy,
yeah.
but like I was actually trying to go to a WNBA game.
Next time,
And it's the first time I could say that.
Next time Kaylee Clark comes to LA,
Oh,
I
wow.
want to go. I want to see her.
Yo,
play.
there's a lot of people at the game.
And
Yeah,
Cameron
I've seen a
Brink
lot.
too.
I've seen
It's
a lot
like
of
a
people.
30-foot point.
Bang.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people
She
in my
did the
story
shrug, too.
posting like they were at the game, and I was like, why are people at Sparks games? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
but
Caitlin
right?
Clark is in the
But
building.
Hey, Cameron Brink.
all
like
respect,
AD
all
too,
respect.
though,
That
you
is
know?
true.
Yeah,
She be cooking.
yeah. We'll watch a game.
Yeah,
Or
we'll go.
go to a game.
All right,
I'm
yeah,
down.
we should wrap
I'm
this up.
down.
My stomach's about to start jumping. I'm not
No,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
I think that's it.
That was the last one, right?
Yeah, that's all we got today. So
Good discussion.
Shout out Carl
Yeah.
Anthony Towns.
shout out Cat.
Big purr.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in on
After
this episode.
all that,
After all that, no, I gotta add that to the soundboard. Oh my god.
for
All
sure,
that.
for sure.
I
He
remember I
says
was
that on
watching
the
him on the
pod.
post. He does it every almost down to every post game interview. Like he starts off mad high paced and then he stops and he's like, "Yeah, but then we I'm like, nigga, like come on now, like
Big purr.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
I'm
bro.
like-
Big purr.
That's actually a lot
Oh,
of people.
damn.
Sold out, or I don't know if sold out. But it's a lot.
No, there's
Probably-
it's the
probably down
there's
there.
space in is it the 200s?
Yeah.
And then there's people in the nose like the 300s.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
damn,
the
yeah,
it's the
good for him.
Kaylin Clark
Bro,
effect.
this is a lot of people.
Yeah, good for him. That's nice. That's tight.
Oh shit.
Anyway, that's it for today. We got
That's
a
big
2-hour
money for
episode for
WNBA.
sure at this point.
Yeah.
You might catch us at the Sparks game or the Fever game. Is there any other WNBA
That's what I'm
teams
saying.
like
Like,
close
I'm like,
to
how
us?
often was Indiana come to LA? Like,
No, I think that's it.
I don't know.
There's no like another. Yes, I doubt it. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in on this episode of BDL. We'll catch you on the next one. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Your thoughts. I'm fucking losing it. It's late. We're out of this bitch. See you on the next one.
Big purr.